It's cold outside, there's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Let me fly far away from here. Fun, fun, fun. In the sun, sun, sun. I want to lie shipwrecked and comatose, drinking fresh mango juice. Goldfish shoals nibbling at my toes. Fun, fun, fun. In the sun, sun, sun. Fun, fun, fun. In the sun, sun, sun. Da 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 da.
That was beautiful.
I hope so. I know my voice got really scratchy towards the end because my throat's a mess right now, but hey. Yay.
Kudos, good sir.
Thank you. You will never get that from me again, ever. But that one's been a long time coming. I promised a very long time ago that if ever we were missing Michael and needed a theme tune, that would be the one I would fill in with. And that is what has happened here today.
No, Michael, why?
So, welcome to the Button Mash Podcast. That was the theme tune. That was the theme tune, Red Dwarf, sung by me. Surprisingly, in case you hadn't figured that out, because Michael is not here. Michael, our theme tune meister, is working late, I guess. So he's squandered his opportunity to talk about video games with us. For shame! For shame! Shame! You guys are not shaming him enough.
I'm just afraid that it's night in your weird exotic hemisphere. Man, I can never live in Europe. They do things crazy there.
Yeah, like be 5 hours ahead.
Yeah, it's like it's night when it's day. Like, how does that even work?
It's called the sun.
We're so backwards with our European ways.
It's insanity. I don't aspire to any pretensions of. I'm just a humble citizen of these United States of America, and I don't know about all these day-night cycles and Europe and Angela Merkel and stuff. All I know is that I'm an American, and I'm proud of it, yo.
And we're backwards and like 5 hours in the future. We're from the future.
God. Oh my God.
What's going to happen to my life in 5 hours?
Tulkas, something's got to be done about your kids.
I'm going to have kids in 5 hours.
Come with me. We've got to go back to the future.
Da 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 da.
Well, there's a theme tune we should have had. God damn it. If ever there was one, that would have been very appropriate. If only we had known we were going to be talking about time travel in a weird sort of way.
But was that actually a theme tune that I just sung?
It sounded vaguely in the ballpark of Back to the Future.
Surely it's not just the power of love.
I have not seen Back to the Future in like a decade, so I guess that was a subconscious memory.
Power of Love is not the official theme tune, but it's close enough for my books. And I will gladly play it on Rock Band every goddamn time.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you weren't there this time. We actually got a group to put Power of Love on at the last event.
Aww.
You missed it.
I missed it. We have done it in the past.
We have done it in the past, but we brought it back. We haven't played it in a long time, so I was like, hang on, I've got a guitar in my hand, and there are people around me. Let's do the Power of Love. This needs to happen.
It does. It's inevitable, really.
Actually, wait. I think I sang that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. I sang Harmony with Darren.
Oh, yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Because we were kind of like this at the last event, we were kind of missing the pedal on the drums, but we had 3 microphones, so it was like, everybody's singing today. Today is a singing day. Let us all sing at Rock Band. Because that's the bit everybody enjoys about Rock Band, the singing, right?
Oh, it's not the guitars at all.
The guitars are purely an afterthought, a very expensive afterthought. What people really come for is terrible, terrible karaoke. From yours truly. So, yes, we are missing Michael. I am joined this week by Will.
Hello.
And someone who still won't go away. He's like a bad penny. It's the incredible Tulk.
Rejoice.
And I got that in there.
Yes, I was proud.
Excellent. So yeah, we've got. I think you're just pretty much regular at this point now, aren't you? I can't really call you a guest.
Basically, I guess.
You're sort of free every time we want to record, and then I go, "Hey, does anyone want in?" And you're like, "Here." So I think you're a regular. Welcome
Get
to our
used
new
to me.
regular.
Yay! I'm honorary button masher.
Begin the ceremony.
Pass me the dagger.
As I said, I'm still not even entirely sure what button mash is, but I guess I'm a part of the podcast now. So yeah, but honorary button masher.
Button
Mash
mash
all them
is
buttons.
a nebulous concept. It's more of a philosophy than anything else.
It's a way of life.
It is, yes.
Well, I like to style myself a philosopher, so
So, yay, join our cult of button mash.
I'm already a Keplerite, sorry. Neil's God.
You can
Neil's
worship multiple
wife,
gods.
Neil's everything. No. Neil is the only god for me, and boy, is he sexy.
Button mash is polytheistic.
Well, Keplerism isn't.
Okay, well then we're going to have to go
I mean,
to
I
war
suppose-
over this, I'm afraid.
I suppose there's Maud, but then he's more of an angel, like a demon angel, than a god in our religion. I don't know. It's complicated theology.
I like how we've kind of got this pantheon going on out of one frickin' 15-person Minecraft server.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And like Past Boy has his flying spaghetti monster. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, that one's grounded in reality, obviously. I mean, that's based on the actual flying spaghetti monster.
Do you dare to insinuate that Neil is not a real person?
Yes, I do. I believe
For
he's
shame.
I believe he's a figment of your imagination, and he's just a very, very solid one that manages to manifest itself in. You literally just have a laptop by the side of you that's logged into a different Skype account, so you can pretend to be him on Skype, and then you can log onto a different Minecraft account when you want to play on it, and you're just really good at multitasking. That's my theory.
I think you overestimate my organizational abilities.
I think that's entirely plausible. I think you're actually two people.
Yeah, I could handle that. Yeah,
you
that would
are
go
your
well.
own god.
That's wonderful.
Alrighty, welcome to the Button Mash Podcast. We are probably going to talk about video games and video game accessories at some point this century, but I don't know when.
But we'll get there eventually.
We'll get there.
Got to talk more about capitalism first. So, yeah, that Neil, what'd you think? Yeah.
I think he charges a lot at the church.
Yeah, well...
I'll stick to Christianity. They only charge 10%.
Well, we charge it. It's the 5 times is a recommended tithe, and if you don't feel comfortable with that, that's fine. Mod has 3 diamonds as tithe. You know, you get a little less bang for your buck, but still get mod, so it all works out.
I'll take 10% of my income. It's still better than
Or
diamonds. Diamonds are pretty expensive, you know.
No,
If I were to pop down to a local chapel and they will go around with a collection disc at the end of the sermon and they're like, "You haven't put 3 diamonds in it." Excuse me? You want me to put 3 diamonds in the dish?
Well, if you feel that you don't,
Let me just go pawn my house.
If you feel less, yeah. Well, you should pawn your house out of love for Neil. But if you feel like 3 diamonds is too much, that maybe you don't really love, like maybe you don't really want a spot in the afterlife, then fine, you can give us some andesite or some granite like everyone else does.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to get on the phone to Tom Cruise. I hear he's got a very affordable package going instead.
So we have
Scientology.
mushrooms dying. Yeah. Okay, that was fun.
Alrighty, so that's Minecraft and what's been going on the server this week, or something, probably. I don't know, I haven't actually been on the server this week, so...
Pastor pranked the temple, actually.
Cool. I shall have to check that out.
You need to watch this video, yes.
I need to... You guys make too many videos, I can't watch them all. I have a job and everything now.
I watch all the videos, but I don't have a job.
Fair enough. Alrighty, let's actually do a podcast, maybe. Let's talk about what we've been playing this week, our video gaming experiences for the past week.
Go on then. On Alzarath's recommendation for the last 2 weeks, I've picked up Darkest Dungeon,
Oh, that thing.
and it is brutal.
I had heard that.
I am throwing bodies and bodies at this game.
Are you
and
basically
coming
going
back
Zap
with
Brannigan on it?
I'm coming back with bloody chunks every time.
Right. Zap Brannigan style. I will throw wave after wave of men at them.
Yes. I'm coming back with either dead warriors or selfish, masochistic, hopeless people. Shells. Empty shells of people.
Cool. Well, can't you just send them to a brothel and it'll be alright?
Mostly. But then I have to leave them there for a week. I have to leave them there for a week, and I don't have access to them. I have to use new people. They get slaughtered.
Is there some hurry to raid this dungeon, whatever it is, castle, isn't it, or something, whatever it is? I presume it's a dark dungeon of some manner.
No, it's just whenever you run out of bodies, which is never.
So, well, yeah, so what's to stop you sort of chilling for a week? It's like, alright, well, okay, everyone's a bit shell-shocked. Just go have a good time at the brothel and we'll do this again in a week. Meet me back here next Saturday and we'll go in again.
I haven't found an option whereby you can just skip a week ahead.
Oh, right.
That would be lovely. Maybe that's just me being dyslexic and I can't find this secret magical button.
I suspect it doesn't exist, but yeah, it's just from a practical standpoint, it just seems like surely that would be the reasonable way to do it.
No, more bodies.
It just sounds like somebody in a massive hurry at this point. It's like, no, we must clear the dungeon. Go, more people. Everybody go into the dungeon. And there's just a queue outside the brothel.
There's a massive gaping hole into a hellish Cthulhu dimension. It must be plugged up.
With corpses.
With bodies, yes.
Right. It does not entirely sound like my kind of thing, I must confess.
It's like Dark Souls had a 2D baby with Mordheim.
I'm not familiar with Mordheim, so...
It's still in early access, but it's very, very similar genre, turn-based, permadeath kind of game.
Okay. I'll say but again, the Dark Souls thing never really sounded terribly appealing to me either.
It's so good, though.
I know, you've mentioned this once or twice, or many times.
Many times.
Yeah. I played a roguelike thing.
Oh, go on.
It was awful! It was Farron's Fate. And it was not good.
No?
It's not good. Someone sent it to me. It is a beta product. It's not remotely finished, and I really hope that everything I saw was a placeholder. It's not good. It's basically a melee version of Binding of Isaac.
Right?
It's the same grid-based rooms, bunch of random enemies in each room, except you're a really uncharming, uncharismatic kind of character who waves a sword in a really awful animation in front of him. The hit detection on everything is awful. You keep getting hit by stuff that just shouldn't have hit you, and you keep missing things that you should have hit, judging by where I'm waving my sword at any rate. And no. I feel really bad because they actually emailed me and they were like, hey, we've got this game, would you like to take a look at it? And I'm doing my Indie Insight thing, which is just 15-minute blind first impressions of stuff that's free, and they had it listed on itch.io as a free game, so I was like, alright, yeah, let's take a look at this, sure, why not? Let's fire this up. Good lord, man. It's got none of the charm of any of its competitors in the field, and the mechanics just feel really bad. I'll say, I mean, it's hard to call Binding of Isaac charming, but you know what I mean if I say that. You know, it's kind of got a distinct, unique style that people appreciate.
Absolutely, it's got character, at least.
Yeah.
It's well designed.
Yeah. Whereas this was just miscellaneous dude number 573, waving a wooden sword in front of him, blindly, at bats that still managed to hit him for no bloody reason. Yeah. So the other notable comparison I would have made was A Wizard's Lizard, which I liked more than Binding of Isaac, just in terms of sort of style and aesthetic. It was Binding of Isaac, but frickin' adorable instead.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, you play a cute little lizard who goes around shooting things in his dungeon full of skeletons and zombies and stuff, and it was just like, it's all really cute. I like it. It had a really nice aesthetic. In gameplay, it wasn't drastically different from Binding of Isaac at all, but it was just cute. I liked it. And I also, I haven't got this on my list, but I also played What's it called? Paranormal Activity, which is also in the same kind of sort of ballpark. It's a grid-based room arena thing, roguelike thing, but it's first-person shooter on. Which is it's the one that was banned from Steam because they threatened to kill Gabe Newell.
Yeah, we talked about this long ago.
Yeah, well, they got back on Steam because they... Did we talk about this last week?
A week before, I think.
Oh, yeah, they got back on Steam because I guess a different publisher picked them up. And they sent me a review copy of it, and I was like, okay, I'll actually have a look at this game now. I mean, it seems noteworthy enough that I should probably at least have a look at the bloody thing. I can't say I care for that. I mean, it's not bad, it's just not my thing. It's got an entirely dubstep soundtrack, which is just obnoxious as hell. I don't like dubstep.
No.
So that's not really going to set the scene for me very well to begin with. It's I think they're trying to go back to sort of old school fast-paced stuff, but I don't know, it just didn't flow as well as I would have liked it to. In terms of first-person shooter roguelike stuff, I found myself comparing it a lot to Tower of Guns, and I thought Tower of Guns was amazing. That was a really good game. That just played really, really well, and it had a beautiful sort of almost hand-drawn-ish. I think it was like a pseudo hand-drawn aesthetic kind of thing. A little bit Borderlandsy, that kind of territory.
With the randomized guns, is it?
No. Tower of Guns, you had preset guns, but I just saw terms in aesthetic, visual style.
Right.
Very similar to Borderlands, I think. But no, that was a cool game. I enjoyed Tower of Guns, and then playing this, it's like, I don't know, just the movement in Tower of Guns felt really good. It felt really satisfying. It's hard. It's one of those things that's hard to quantify because it's kind of, we're talking about the actual movements of the character. I can't quite point to what's good about one and what's bad about the other. I can only just sort of compare them, play them, and say, this game feels good. This game doesn't feel as good. Tower of Guns felt really good to play, whereas Paranormal Activity just didn't as much. It's kind of got a voxel art aesthetic, I guess, kind of like Cube World-ish a little bit.
I remember not caring for that at all when I looked at the screenshots.
Yeah, it's probably a kind of a take it or leave it kind of thing, and I'm quite happy to leave it. It's nothing terribly mind-blowing. Voxel art's always interesting to see what people do with it, but it often falls a bit flat, I think. But yeah, those are my roguelites. I also play a lot of Overture, because I've been playing a lot of Overture for weeks now. That was pretty good. And admittedly, they've made like zero effort on the art front for that game. That's the art for Overture is literally, there's another developer has made a pixel art sort of RPG character pack that you're supposed to make like full RPGs and stuff out of it, and they've just taken all of the different characters that are in that and just said, that's a class, that's a class, that's a class, that's a class, that's a class. It's like, okay, we've got a priest and a mage and any type of name of a thing that you could think of from an RPG is probably a class in this. And they've just found a sprite, and most of them look really similar. A lot of the attacks are really similar, but it's the subtle differences. I keep finding things that are kind of cool. What did I play? I played the Necromancer class recently, which is... for some reason, the Necromancer has a freaking flamethrower. I don't know why. His primary attack is just a flamethrower. It's like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then his sort of actual ability that uses mana summons skeletons. So it's like, okay, I've got an army of skeletons and a flamethrower. This is cool. I can dig this.
Yeah,
Why
can
a
dig this.
flamethrower?
I don't know. Like I say, the game doesn't make a lot of sense in any way, shape, or form. There's no narrative structure to it. It's just, here, pick a class, go kill things. That's all you get in Overture. That's all there ever is.
Well then.
Yeah.
I want to be a necromancer with a flamethrower that raises up skeletons from the grave.
Well, you can if you play Overture.
Well, that happens.
Cool.
Overture exists.
Overture exists. That is the thing that it does, yes.
I've been playing Realm Total War, and my first episode in it will be up yesterday probably, and it's like, yay, much love, retro games apparently, I don't know, yay.
How old is it now at this point?
11 years.
Wow, I didn't even realise it was that old.
Came out 2004. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
I was in
2004's retro now. Oh no.
Yeah, I was.
I know.
I was
When people say like 10, 11 years ago, I still think it's the 90s.
I know it's strange. Like
Yeah.
I was in 5th grade when I first got it, and I was in 4th grade when it came out. Pretty cray. I guess you probably don't have grades in your whacked out hemisphere of yours, but
Yeah, no, we did away with those in the future.
it basically. You've moved to the new progressive future system. This is so cool. Like, do you have like mind sharing devices and things? Like, you don't even need grades to like organize yourself. You just like organize yourself in, like one great mental harmony of galactical harmony and love. Well, that's cool. But also,
Yes,
so,
in Europe we have evolved into a hive mind.
Whoa. I am hyped for 5 hours from now. I suppose it's 6 hours from now for me. But yeah, I was 10 when I got it. So yeah.
I don't think it was ever on my radar 10 years ago. So it's not my scene. But hey,
you weren't 10 years ago.
It was not.
It was a thing
Well
for
observed.
10-year-olds.
I'm trying to think what else would have come out in 2004 that would be called retro now, because that's going to scare the crap out of me if I do that.
Hey, Mod called it retro, not me.
In 2004, we need
I was amazed to hear Mod call it retro, but
okay.
I do not question the wisdom of Mod.
Can we go through this list of things that are retro now then?
All right.
GTA San Andreas is retro.
What?
I can believe that.
Half-Life 2 is retro.
Okay.
World of Warcraft is retro.
Indeed.
Sims 2 is retro.
Huh.
Halo 2 is retro.
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is retro.
Indeed.
Silent Hill 4 is retro.
Oh
Affirmative.
my god.
Well, all these retro games, and
I
yes,
know.
Trumbull's War is the only one that still retains that little spark of genius that made it so better than everything else ever, and I don't care what you say.
Unreal Tournament 2004 is retro. Prince of Persia Warrior Within is retro.
Oh no.
Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green are retro. Oh man. I've got that. I've got that somewhere. Katamari Damacy is retro. Counter-Strike Source is retro. Burnout 3 is retro. Oh man, Far Cry, the original Far Cry is retro. Doom 3 is retro. Paper Mario is retro. Metroid Prime 2 is retro, if we're going by 2004. Holy
Having
crap.
fun, aren't we?
Yes. What the hell? No, I'm not accepting 2004 as retro.
Well, you'll have to take it with Mod then, won't you?
I will.
And thus the Riff-Raff Mafia became divided, and Tulkas, in the name of all the classy people, struck a blow for elitism and class warfare, and to downtrod the proletariat under the heel of the mighty bourgeois. Yeah! Anti-communism.
Painkiller was 2004. Good lord. No, I'm not having Metroid Prime 2 falling into the same category, though. No. That's just not on. Good lord. Oh, dear. Also, apparently, in 2004, EA bought a 20% stake in Ubisoft. What? I didn't know that happened. So EA owns part of Ubisoft? Is that still a thing? That can't still be a thing. Yay, business. I've destroyed the entire podcast. Let's talk about games again.
Go on then.
No, we're not talking about games now. I refuse.
Okay, well,
Let's talk
goodbye.
about the political situation in Ukraine. Will you start?
Oh dear.
We're
Will,
not
what have you been
actually.
playing?
We're not actually.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that one.
Go on then. Well, for the time left, I played Sky Saga.
Yay, Sky Saga.
Yay! And I just about managed to craft a whole armor set of Rose Iron gear.
Holy
which
crap,
is
you're better geared than me.
And stupidly crafted cold steel armor as well.
Cold steel armor?
Yeah.
Cold steel? Blue steel, you mean?
Blue steel. That's the
Yeah,
one. Blue steel. That's right, because it's Zoolander. Yes.
Okay. I'm not familiar with Zoolander, so okay.
Not familiar with... Oh, go watch Ben Stiller be Zoolander.
I don't like Ben Stiller.
Just watch. It's amazing.
I mean, I think my main opinion of Ben Stiller is entirely coloured by his appearance when he was in Extras.
I haven't watched Extras.
Extras was... what's his name? Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
And yeah, they got lots of famous actors on, but they had them all coming on playing themselves as themselves, but as a character of themselves. And Ben Stiller was playing a massive asshole. He was a complete dickhead to everybody in it, and it was like, oh my god, I hate Ben Stiller. It's like, for some reason that was always starting with me. It's like, I really don't like Ben Stiller. He's such an asshole. That's my main mental impression of Ben Stiller from that one Extras episode. I was like, man, he's such an asshole. Why would anyone want to watch an asshole like that?
To be fair, he does play that kind of character quite a lot.
Right.
But no idea what he's like in real life. Amazing.
All right. But anyway. Your reference to Zoolander is lost on me.
Oh, I'm going to have to send you a YouTube clip later.
Right, okay.
Because it's just amazing.
So, blue steel armor.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Is that not better?
I heard it's on par with Rose Iron, but then it breaks faster.
They must have some distinguishing features other than it breaks faster.
No, I might just break it back down again and make something else. I'm hoping like that if you use it to make an anvil, it might make stuff faster.
I tried that with the gold versus iron one, and it didn't do anything. So
the gold isn't a major upgrade over iron, though.
Yeah, but I would have expected it to have made some difference, and it didn't.
Maybe it will.
I did check them just to see.
The full game comes out.
Yeah, that would be really cool if they did that, actually. That's a really cool thing. Well, hey, go get on the VIP forums and tell them that, and say, hey, guys, make better better equipment, make things faster. Because you've got some armor in that game that's like a 5-minute craft time.
I know.
At that point, it's like, well, hey, what if I had a blue steel anvil that could make things at a quarter of the normal craft time? Suddenly it's like, oh, well, that's actually a good reason to do that. Suddenly you're like, oh, this really powerful armor only takes 1 minute 25 or 1 minute 15 even to make. Yes, there are 100 seconds in a minute. Yeah, 1 minute 15 to make the entire piece of armor on a really crazy powerful but expensive anvil.
I think that would probably be the best use for it, because it just breaks fast if you use it as a pick. I assume it breaks quickly if you use it as armor as well.
Actually, yeah, that is a good point in terms of usage, because obviously your anvil's not going to break.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. To be fair, weapons, it's not a bad choice as a weapon, because on a weapon, those take forever to break. I mean, I've been using the blue steel sword for a while now. It's still on like 96% durability.
Really?
Yeah. And I think a lot of the durability... I don't think weapons take damage from combat. I think weapons take damage when you break items.
Ah, that's interesting.
A lot of the items that drop faster if you hit them with a sword, I will tend to hit them with a sword, but that's when I'm actually doing durability damage to my sword.
Okay.
So stuff like the boulders that drop purple stone, I will... you can sit there and fucking wail on it for ages with a pickaxe and it'll eventually drop. Or you can hit it twice with a sword and it just drops and it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to break these with a sword from now on, okay?
That's very unusual.
Yeah, it is kind of, but... it's early alpha stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So some things are going to be a bit weird. I mean, for the longest time in Minecraft, wooden slabs used to be broke with a pickaxe because the game's files interpreted it as being a stone block.
Right.
It was like every slab kind of block in the game was just a variant on stone, was the way they'd coded it in. So basically, even if it was wood, the game was like, oh, it's stone, and you have to use a tool that will break stone faster in order to break it, so you need a pickaxe. They've changed that now, but if you think about sort of the way games are developed, it's basically the way Sky Saga is going to be interpreting it, I imagine, is anything that's decorative in the world will probably break easier with a weapon than it does with a pickaxe.
Yeah.
If you think of anything that you normally have a go at, like if you're trying to break boxes or whatever around. If you go at it with a pickaxe, it takes ages to break them. If you go at it with a sword or a hammer or something, it's pretty quick to break. And the boulders, in spite of you going, it's a chunk of stone, it's still probably in the game files interpreted as just decoration. It probably sees the boulder as being exactly the same as a wooden box somewhere in terms of breaking it. That's my interpretation at any rate.
That makes sense as it currently is.
Yeah, and I will continue to take advantage of that to get my purple stone, because that is the only way to get purple stone. And
do you actually have a sufficient amount of purple stone to do whatever it is you're doing? I
have a bit of purple stone, yeah, I've got enough. I've got enough that I could probably make one of those big stone heads out of it if I wanted to.
Okay.
And I probably should do that. I think I made one of the big stone gongs out of it, which looks kind of cool.
Oh,
although it doesn't look purple when you actually hang it on the wall, though. It looks red, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know if you noticed, because before the server closed down, I noticed that you sent me the brazier.
Oh, I did that ages ago.
Yeah, I know.
I did that the day I said I was going to give you it.
I must have missed it for ages.
I gave you a gold one as well.
Yeah. Did you see I gave you a recipe on your Home Island?
Probably not.
I sent you the wolf pelt breastplate.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I already have that, though.
Fair enough. I had a spare one.
I guess what I need is gloves and a helmet in that regard. Actually, to be honest, helmet recipes are really hard to come by.
Oh, I have a captain helmet recipe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What level do you need to be to make it, though?
5.
Oh, that's going to be a bit of work.
Yeah, I think I'm level 2.
I think I'm level 3, maybe 4? I'm not sure. I put some work into doing it, but blacksmithing is a horrible skill to level. Because it's like, make 2 breastplates. I'm like, I'm already wearing one. Why do I want to make 2 more? There is no purpose to this.
I currently have to make an obscene amount of bolts.
Bolts can be used, but okay.
Yeah. They have to be iron as well.
Okay, fine. Admittedly, the only real purpose I've found for them is for making gongs, so you'll just have to make a lot of gongs. Make all the gongs.
All the gongs.
All the gongs!
Thank you. Thank you for that observation. So yeah, Sky Saga is gone, though. This is the important thing to talk about.
This is sad news.
This is very sad news. So they had it for a week for Europe, that's nasty for anyone who is in Europe trying to play. It was like, here's a wonderful game for you. Oh no, you can't have it anymore. It's like, screw you, Radiant Worlds. We were playing that. Give us our game back. We are hopelessly addicted. I need it back.
Still, we can join in PvP every Thursday still.
There is PvP every Thursday, and I've not done any PvP at all. I probably should do that. Although I think I'm working like 12 hours on Thursday, so I'm not going to get any chance to play it at all this Thursday, so it's completely irrelevant for me anyway.
I have a child on Thursday, and it opens up around about her bedtime.
That makes you sound like you're about to give birth. It's like, oh yes, I'm scheduled to give birth this Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday is the day I give birth. Release me from this torture. What god hath wrought this?
It's our love child.
I have no response to that.
Oh dear. So yeah, no PvP for us, I guess.
No.
However, the VIP program opens soonish, I think. The official line on it, they said, was it was going to be 4th of March they were opening a VIP program. The email I got from them said it was from the 27th, though. So,
soon.
Maybe. Soon, although admittedly 2 days before I leave for Boston for a week.
Oh.
At which point I'm not going to be able to play anything in the slightest. Except on my phone, maybe. But probably not too much.
Perhaps they will respond to my plea and let me play it instead.
Yes, well, don't get too far ahead of me, but... Okay.
I'll try not to.
Have you done any of the hard dungeons yet?
Yes. One.
Oh, how hard? How hard are they?
Not very.
Oh. Okay. Well, I am disappointed.
We'll see. We'll see when it opens back up.
So yeah, I guess the next major update they're looking to is May at this point. So give me a couple of months before they do what I guess would officially be Alpha 4, I suppose. So I don't know. I feel like there is a risk I and other people might potentially actually burn out on the game and go, okay, you know what? I've played all the things at this point, and I need more content. I will probably get back into it in a big time in May, but I feel like in 2 months' time, I could probably thoroughly exhaust all the possibilities Sky Saga possibly has.
Yeah, but it does look like it's gonna have a ton more stuff in it, like different armor skins and whatnot. And
yeah, if they're taking 2 months to do an update, if they're like, look, just give it, I think the very much the attitude they get said in the email is like, look, we could just put out lots of little bits all the time, but what we want to do is we want to sit down and just make a ton of content, and then just boom, May, all the content here, have a ton of stuff. Which I don't know, that's kind of cool, I suppose.
I could be appeased by that.
I think so. There's a little bit of I'd rather have a lot of stuff all the time, but it just it does that Christmas Day thing of just go when a game just like here have a lot of things, and you're like yay all the things, which is what Spiral Knights never did.
Not that we're bitter.
No, Spiral Knights just unfortunately always has a way of going, here's some stuff, and you're like, yeah, I'm done with it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. was that everything?
Back
you
in
took
the
a
drawer.
year to make this. You took a year to make this. What, there's more to this, right? No? Oh, okay. Yeah, back in the drawer.
You sound like a crack addict.
I am a crack addict with MMOs, I think. So I've started playing Final Fantasy 14 as well this week, which I totally haven't put down on my list, but yeah, I started playing that one yesterday because it was like, well, I got bored of WildStar, Sky Saga servers are offline, and there ain't much doing in Spiral Knights. I need an MMO. What MMOs? And I was like, well, there's a 2-week free trial, and I recognize that given them out of the country for one of the 2 weeks, this was the worst possible time for me to pick to start a 2-week free trial, but I did start the 2-week free trial of Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, you know.
I sunk like 2 hours gameplay into it, and I still haven't got past I'm still in tutorial stuff. It's very hard to say. I was like, well, the character creation is ridiculous. That took me like half an hour in the first instance. After that, there's a lot of cutscenes and talking and stuff happens, and I did make some videos on it, so there'll be videos on that coming out on my channel over the next few days or so. And there's no voice acting at all in the game, except for, I think there's like combat grunts and stuff from the character, but there's a lot of characters talking and no voice acting, and it mostly seems to be done in some manner of British accent, so I was like, okay, I'm having a field day with doing the voice acting for everyone in this game. I'm just going to do this. This is going to be great. So, yes, I enjoyed talking things, yes. So far, it's been mostly gophering, though. It's like, go talk to this person, go talk to this person, go deliver these things to this person. Oh, somebody has spilled herbs all over the courtyard. Why don't you go and pick up the herbs from the courtyard and bring them back to me? I'm like, let me stab something! All I wanted is to stab something. I created a marauder. I carry a 2-handed axe. I am descended from pirates. I wish to hit something with my axe. I have not been able to hit anything with my axe yet. They have not allowed me to hit things with my axe. And for this I am disappointed.
I feel your pain.
But it's a very pretty game. It's a very, very pretty thing as far as MMOs go. But that's all it's got going for it at the minute. At the minute it just feels like pretty World of Warcraft kind of thing. They do overdo the lore a bit. This is something I did touch on in my videos, which is MMOs have this weird thing where a lot of the ones I've played over the years, quite a lot of them seem to have this thing where you start playing the game and suddenly they just vomit lore in your face. And I don't know, when you're starting an MMO, I don't feel like... Is this just me, or I don't think that's what anybody particularly wants when you're just starting out. You're just like, I want to get into this, I want to play something, I want to progress, I want to immerse myself in this world. I don't want you just telling me the story, the history, the past 3 centuries of history of these people I've never heard of before you started talking. Believe me, when I'm level 30, I will care entirely about those people. Right now, I don't. I want to hit something with a 2-handed axe. Tulkas, go on.
I love lore.
No, don't get me wrong, I love lore as well, but there was a time and a place for it, and when you start an MMO, I don't think that's the time for it. Wildstar, I know Jesse Cox criticised Wildstar, because he was like, oh, Wildstar didn't have much of a story. I think that's why nobody played it, there was no story. And I was like, are you kidding me? Wildstar had a fantastic story. I am so engaged in Wildstar's story. Wildstar is a fantastic world. That's a beautiful world. They create a magnificent universe there. But they don't vomit it in your face at level 1. They don't do that. It's like Wildstar's start is, oh, middle of the action. Oh, the ship's exploding. Everything's going to shit. Go rescue people. Go fight off these robots and then kill some invaders. And then, okay, and then you're going to use an escape pod and you're going to land on a planet and your adventure begins. And then they feed you bits and pieces about the planet after that, and you pick up bits and pieces as you go along. But it's never, you don't get some ridiculous monologue from some character where you just sit there for like 5 minutes while they just talk about the history of their people, and you're like, I don't know who you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm not even sure what the race you're talking about looks like at this point in the time. So, by the time you reach sort of level 30, 40, 50, by the time you're engaged in the world, if someone wants to sit down and tell you the history of the peoples, I'm all up for listening about that. When someone says, oh, here's the rich and storied histories of the Orin people, I'm like, oh, please tell me more about the Orin, because, well, I play an Orin, and I'm really, really, really interested. So, yeah, please engage me. But, when I'm fresh off the ship, I'm just like, hey, I've got big, sharp claws, I want to rip things apart with my big, sharp claws. You know? Or am I just weird?
No, that makes perfect sense. But I guess it depends from game to game.
I guess, but I've found the MMOs that have engaged me least are generally the ones that just won't shut up at level 1. Wildstar, like I say, Wildstar I think does it really, really well, in spite of what Jesse Cox might think. Jesse Cox is wrong in my book. Spiral Knights I think does it okay. Spiral Knights is good. It gives you a 1 to 2 minute intro video just before you make your character. And then you make your character, and then it's, boom, you land in an escape pod on the planet. Here, go stab things with a sword and get to grips with the mechanics. And then it sort of lowers you. Then the story's sort of revealed as you progress through the mission system. That works. Spiral Knights does story right. It does. Admittedly, I wish they'd not feed it to us piecemeal, 3 missions at a time every year and a half, but hey.
Yeah.
I would rather they just finished some freaking story arc or sell us a goddamn expansion with it in. You want to charge me $5 to finish off the bloody Crimson Order story? I will pay money. Make it happen, 3 Rings.
I see. I don't know if I'd even pay any more money for that game. I have put a lot of money in that game.
Oh, I put a lot of money in that game. I would still pay. If they put an expansion out tomorrow, I would buy that expansion tomorrow.
I would think twice and then probably.
I'm still in it. I'm not out like you are. You're like quit, aren't you?
Mostly. I came back for the gunner update. I got the nice guns and then I left.
Have you actually tried the 3 new missions though?
No.
Well, there you go, yeah. I was going to say, I mean, if you were still at least slightly invested, there's like 3 story missions there that actually have narrative in them.
I may dabble. We'll see.
Admittedly, that story provides precisely 0 closure to anything whatsoever. And I'm thoroughly disappointed in the way that ended. But at least they're making an effort. I think if they put out something like Operation Crimson Hammer again, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I would. But
I just don't know, because I didn't even like the weapons that you got from that expansion. I never used them.
I made the Wildfire. I really like the Wildfire, but it's a gun that shoots explosions of fire and sets things aflame. And what is not to love about that? I know. The thing is, I know. I see where you're coming from. Insofar as everything was just it's not a reskin, but very, very similar to something that already exists. There was nothing really new in the update. It was like, here's a gun that's already in the game. Here it is in a different color, and it shoots a different flavor of damage. Previously, you shot things that stabbed them. Now it does shadow damage instead. It's like, okay, sure. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the most interesting change was with the catalyzer, for crying out loud, and that wasn't even new. Catalyzer is really interesting now.
It works now the way it should have made sense when they first made it.
That's how I have said for years. That's how that one should have worked. I was like, this gun is backwards. This gun feels backwards. This gun just works backwards. Why have you made this gun backwards, Three Rings? Yeah, it works exactly how you would expect it to work now, and it works well. It works good. But that was about it. Yeah. There's armor. There's gunner armor. I don't know anybody who uses that armor.
I did not craft any of those armors.
I have not crafted any, and I don't know anyone that has. I'm kind of tempted to make it for my ult, but that's another stack of orbs I need to make that I wouldn't otherwise have to make, and.
But see, even with the Gunner update, it didn't feel like I could really play a pure Gunner character. It still didn't feel effective.
From what I've played, I mean, I've done a few videos that were my Gunner update field tests, and every time I played it, it was very much, this gun's fun, but it's still faster to kill things with my sword.
Exactly.
It's faster and easier. I was doing, with my Gunner update field test videos, I was doing usually 2 floors of the clockworks as a test of the gun, and ultimately those were, in the end, taking me about half an hour of video. Well, normally I can get through 4 floors of the clockworks in half an hour. So I'm kind of like moving at half pace if I'm running with a gun instead. So no, I see where you're coming from. I mean, I like the changes, I like some of the mechanics, but you can't. It's not a primary weapon.
No, and that's what I was hoping for, really.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely what I was hoping for, insofar as running with my ult, because I wanted my ult to be a gunner primary, and then I went in with it. I was like, great, all the guns have changed. Let's try and do missions with it, and I still got my ass handed to me. It's like, okay, they're not been changed enough, then, have they?
I understand you're at a distance, you're fairly safe, but even so.
It's just uphill work. It's slow going.
Yeah.
It feels tedious because it's slow, yeah. I mean, if it was exactly comparable to swords, if it was just like, hey, the gun is exactly as powerful as a sword and kills things just as fast, there'd be no incentive to use swords, because you're like, well, I can get up close and personal and get hit in the face by a lumber, or I can just stand a mile away and shoot everything in the face and kill it just as fast. So yeah, I understand there's a balance to be struck. But
absolutely.
How about that's the eternal battle of the MMO, I suppose, is balance. And it's an interesting fight to be had from a development perspective. Not something I've ever had to deal with. I'm quite quick to weigh in with my opinions, but I've never had to make those decisions myself.
That's a fair point.
Mm-hmm. So I do want to play more of Final Fantasy XIV. That's kind of like I say, I haven't played enough to really make any kind of solid decision on it. At the minute, I'm like, this is pretty enough that I kind of want to continue on in this world, but I haven't seen enough to really... It's really weird to be 2 hours into a game and not have seen anything noteworthy at all. Most of the games, if they'd given me no content of note within 2 hours of gameplay, I would probably have turned off a long time ago.
To be fair, with the Final Fantasy games, you're in it for the long haul. I mean, I haven't even played any. I've played Lost Odyssey. It's kind of like the child that nobody talked about.
Okay.
And even that was 4 discs long, and that took me forever. It was a gorgeous game, but it took me forever.
What platform was that on?
360.
That was a 360, okay. I was going to say, a name vaguely rings a bell, but I wouldn't have particularly known much about it.
It's one of my favourite games ever, but I imagine it doesn't compare very well to Final Fantasy.
I have no idea. I mean, my most experience with the traditional Final Fantasy stuff is I played 1.5, 2 discs maybe of Final Fantasy IX before I massively goofed and deleted our save on the PlayStation. And never did actually get around to finishing that. And I've been saying for a while, quite frankly, if they re-release that on Steam, I probably will buy that, just because I would like one day to actually finish that bloody game. It's actually pretty good. I played a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and Tactics A2. I played hundreds of hours of both of those games. Many hundreds of the first one, and a few hundreds of the second one. So I'm familiar with the tropes and themes and ideas and styles of the Final Fantasy world, even if not, anything directly main Final Fantasy, as it were. And I don't know where this fits in. I mean, it's kind of, again, there's kind of like the lizard race, which are like, they are Bangar in the Tactics Advance, but I don't know if they call races by different things in different games. Because there's a lot of races in Final Fantasy XIV that I've never heard of before from any version of Final Fantasy I've ever played. I mean, the humans in Tactics Advance were Humes, and then there's something entirely else in 14, I can't remember what they're called. And then there's like the cat girls, but I can't recall what their race is called, and they definitely aren't in any version of Final Fantasy I've played before, but okay. I don't know. It's all strange. They kind of mix things up, but also keep it the same. It's a very strange mix they've got going on. I don't know. Final Fantasy's weird.
Not a clue. I've only ever seen Advent Children. That's my exposure to Final Fantasy.
Right. Chocobos. Chocobos are one consistent element. Chocobos and Moogles are like the one consistent thing in Final Fantasy, I think. And the fact that somewhere in the world there will be some guy called Sid. I'm not sure what the significance is, but there's usually someone that fits that bill. Yes. That's the thing. Yeah. I'm going to keep going with that anyway.
Cool.
Anything else? Tulkas.
Well,
You have not said much in a while. What have you played?
Yeah, Rome swore I gave a speech.
You did. Is that your entire... Have you just been sat playing that for 7 days straight?
Well, no, just a couple of hours. Like, mostly it's just... You see, Meroka, I think this is sort of you don't understand something about me, and that is that I am engaged in a quest for quartz. And see, the thing about quartz is that it's difficult to get, and that you need a lot of it. So, like, my life is quartz and trying to get the quartz, and it's sort of like the eternal struggle. You always try to find the quartz, and then you get the quartz. Then you fall into a really deep pool of bottomless lava, and then you need to pillar out of that pool, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, that's my life. Is quartz and getting quartz. And I've had like another, in the past week I got like a single chest full of quartz, so that's my life. But yeah, now I think it's time for the dead baby segment. Well, would you like to start us out on your newest dead baby joke?
I
Good.
I think Meroka would kill me.
Okay, good. So, no, I don't... I guess I also played Hearthstone some, but, like, that's... No.
That's no?
I can tell
Hearthstone's no?
Well, if you want me to talk about Hearthstone, then I can talk about Hearthstone, but...
I don't mind talking about Hearthstone. Hearthstone's
okay,
great.
Hearthstone. Well, let's see, we had some drama in the Hearthstone scene, where there is a popular sort of member of the big esports team Tempo Storm named Magic Amy. Turns out that she was probably actually not a Korean female as she claimed, but was actually a Canadian male masquerading as a Korean female. So that was strange. That was our drama, yeah.
Okay.
It was like a big investigation. Like maybe it wasn't, maybe it was. We don't really know. But it was like interesting that being female is in a way like trying to be female is better for like what we talked about 2 weeks ago with the Philippines, Manila, like banning trans people or whatever it was. That like it's the idea that we had there was that like being female is probably bad for your career. Like this idea is that like being female is actually good for your career because like it helps you be noticed. Like instead of being like that one generic Canadian dude, instead a female, which is sadly rare on the internet. So I don't know this. Yes, that was the drama. I guess I could talk about other Hearthstone things. I've been playing the ramp druid deck, and I'd contributed to the podcast. The ramp druid using it's a druid deck, but you use like cards to try and like get out big minions like Ancient of War, which is 5/10 taunt for like 7 mana. It's like difficult to get through unless you have a Black Knight or a Silence. But they're a lot tough. But yeah, and then like a bunch of the new the old new scumbag mid-range hunter. You know, hunter finds a way, as it were, and. But mostly my life is just sports. Just life is sports, man. Life is sports. That was fun.
Can I just maybe don't kill me, but can I offer a suggestion? Have you tried not using quartz?
Yeah, but like quartz is like my thing, man. Like I have this vision of Barad Nimrus, my main base on Strangelands, a great fortress built entirely out of quartz. I'm
going to confess, I don't know what that looks like, so I need to look this up.
Well, I've already built the main tower.
I like that if you type Barad Nimrus into Google image search, like half of the top images are all Minecraft builds.
Yeah, well, there's one Minecraft build. And just from like different angles. Basically,
right.
I guess I'll talk about Barad Nimrus now, even though this has absolutely nothing to do with video gaming, but I guess I'm talking about this now. Yeah, I have to have a contribution. But Barad Nimrus is a basically sort of like a thing in the Silmarillion. I could like read it. No, I'm not going to read it out. That's a bad idea. Basically, it's sort of like a thing that's mentioned in the book, like in 2 sentences. Like there's one sentence halfway through the book and another sentence halfway through the book. It's like the first sentence is they built Barad Nimrus, and the second sentence is the bad guys conquered Barad Nimrus. And that's literally it. So basically, I'm just like getting like free to use like artistic stuff and like try to build. Yeah.
So you have absolutely no frame of reference, and from this point, you decided to take that freedom to do whatever you want and build it entirely out of one of the hardest blocks to acquire in the game.
Well, no, I will. Tell you what, I will. No, it's just that like it's. I had a vision, man. I mean, look at you. You had your Agrabah, and Agrabah hasn't seen any work, so
Hey, you lay off my Agrabah. I'm just lazy, damn it.
Yeah, but
also, all those buildings look the same, and it was really boring to build, by the way.
Well,
have you ever tried building 50 sandstone buildings? They're all really boring.
Well, you should try to build. You should try to build out of quartz because quartz is a good block, you know.
Or I have better things to do with my time.
Well, yeah, but you see, I don't.
Well, you could be playing other things to talk about on the Button Mash podcast.
Well, yes, but I mean, the quartz, man, it calls to me. It calls to me. Like, you're the one with the Meroka cola, and you're selling your own, peddling your own drugs on the server. I mean, you like to get high off your Meroka cola. I
don't touch my own stuff. I ain't touching that shit.
What kind of racket are you running?
I ain't run no racket. I'm selling perfectly reasonable products for savvy consumers to enjoy at their leisure. It's for personal use only. It's perfectly, it's legit, it's above board, and I wouldn't touch the stuff myself, by the way. That's my official stance on that one. Wouldn't touch the stuff. I don't know why anyone else would. But yeah, how about that fixer-upper?
Yeah, fixer-upper, yeah, it's the big thing we have.
Big new designer drug. I hear he cuts it with all sorts of new products.
Like in the chest at the rehab center, there's like a whole chest full of like all the various pearls they confiscated from me. It was a thing, man. It was a thing. I'm just I'm trying to find the thing. It's here we are. No. Oh yeah, blah blah. Yeah.
Well, use your words. But okay. Well,
okay, I found it. Okay.
Oh, you were looking for a thing.
My
Okay.
project. Okay. On the cape west of Elglarest, Finrod raised the tower of Baron Nimras to watch the Western Sea. So needlessly, as it proved, for at no time ever did Morgoth essay to build ships or to make war by sea. Water all his servants shunned. Into the sea none would willingly go nigh, save in dire need. There, see? That's my contribution is about Master Contrast. Baron Nimrath, Quartz, Hearthstone, and Rome's Total War. Yo.
Just go back to the... Oh.
I didn't say the people don't know this. Last week, okay, this is like a big thing in my life. Like this completely overshadows the quartz and everything. Like I can't believe I didn't mention this before. Okay, so the people don't know this, but last week after the Bottom Mash Pad podcast, I asked Will to be my Valentine, and he said yes.
We're a couple now.
It's so romantic. So Baron Nimras is the only real description that watches the Western Sea. Is that like?
Yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of ocean side builds and
that
pictures
would be
and
the
images
Western
and things.
Sea. That would be the Western Sea. Yes.
Okay.
That's the whole reason it's happening. It's like it's being built alongside Oddport Ocean, so I can
where's
connect
the
it by
quartz thing
monorail.
come from though? Because
The
I say,
Nether.
well,
It comes from the Nether.
thank you, Jesus, God damn it. Ask a stupid question. Jesus.
Well, if you had watched,
taking this not entirely literally, where does the idea that Baron Nimras is built entirely out of quartz come from?
this is okay. I guess.
Because all the depictions of it I'm seeing is gleaming white spire and stuff, but your picture of it never really gave much description of it other than Western Sea.
First of all, the name Baron Nimras means White Horn Tower. So that's a white.
That'll do it.
And second of all, like I guess we're turning this into the Silmarillion podcast now, but
A little
it's sort
bit.
of that it's the base. It's the this is of Noldor construction, obviously. So it's sort of like they're the League of Mahedros and stuff, and obviously it's inspired by Tyrion upon Tuna and Valimar itself, for that matter.
Can I stop you for a moment?
Based on Gondolin and such. So it's sort of like the general theme is white. No, I keep going. You unleashed the beast, man. You unleashed the beast.
What I want to say is how I love how you preface every single sentence like, obviously. it's like... I have never heard of any of these people or things. Obviously, this guy did this. Obviously, this is this. Obviously, this word means this. Obviously, yeah. Obvious to... like you and two other people.
Okay, so I guess I'll explain. So the Valimar has two trees, and one of the a sapling from that tree was growing in Tyrion upon Tuna, and a sapling from that tree was growing in Gondolin, and a sapling from that tree was a big fancy white tree in Minas Tirith that ended the Return of the King movie. There, I've now related everything I've said to stuff that you know about, hopefully. But yeah, so it's all like white, because it's sort of like, it's the usual northern designs. You're able to extrapolate that to Baron Nimrath, and you're like, it's going to be white. So, I can't, like, and that's sort of the problem that I've had, though, is that, like, I'm trying to get a white palette to have more than white, but really it's just like white, there's just like quartz and then like white glass, and there isn't other stuff, because like
diorite, use diorite.
Yeah, but like diorite is all like busy. It's a busy texture. Like white clay is derpy, and like
white clay is
and
pink,
stone is sort of like pearlish. It's difficult, man. It's just. But yeah, Agrabah. I mean, I found Agrabah, and that was fun. It was like it's all like big fancy sandstone. Yeah, but you really need to finish that sometime, because I'm so happy, because I like Cecile and I, we found Lucinda Lamont, and then we found this like little path, and we're like, oh, where's this path going? And we went past Squizzy's house, and then we're like, to Agrabah. We said yay.
I'm impressed that you found La Fin du Monde without going, via the shortcut, which is really genuinely impressive, because the whole point of La Fin du Monde was that you go there via the shortcut in the Nether.
Well, no, we went through there in the overworld because, like, obviously,
Yeah, that's what I'm
we did.
saying. The fact that you stumbled across that tiny little outpost, that the La Fin du Monde is not a thing. It's like a 5x5 floating platform above the ocean.
Well, I mean,
And the fact that you managed to find that, like, 7,000 blocks away from spawn is really impressive.
it's 5,000.
Well, it's 5,000 by 5,000, whatever that is. Do
I guess
Pythagoras.
it is diagonal, so it is probably like.
I'm going to do
7,000,
5.
I
I'm going to
suppose.
do that.
But yeah.
What is 5,000 squared plus 5,000 squared?
But we had I just took her on through the nether tunnel to my mushroom biome, and then we just trekked over from there. Yeah, and we just like found this, and it's exciting because we were about to turn back to Oddport anyway, and we just found La Fin du Monde, and we were like, yeah, La Fin du Monde.
Cool. Where the heck's the square root function on this bloody calculator? I can't find a square root function. I need a square root. Oh, it's over there. Plus
I like
next
how
to all the
like
other things.
in every
It is. It's
episode-
7,071 blocks away, as the crow flies.
Yes,
I was right.
My apologies. I have already. I admit my.
It was
my
a very
defeat.
much a ballpark guess,
Yes,
but the fact that I was 70 blocks out was pretty good.
Can I just say that like I love how we just like have the Tulkas segment where like I like talk at the beginning like I say my name, and then at the end I say my name, and like smack dab in the middle is just like half an hour where I just like rant about stuff. Like I don't talk at any other time. It's just the Tulkas segment.
Yes.
That's the only reason I'm on the podcast, just for the Tulkas segment.
All right. Well, I'm afraid it's probably about time to bring the Tulkas segment to an end.
No.
We're going to go into a break now. We can have Tulkas Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, Return of the Tulkas, next half.
Electric boogaloo, electric boogaloo, electric booga googa googa googly grilla do ah.
We'll be right back. But a Mash Podcast is back. I hate having to do that for myself. we need Michael back, goddammit.
We need more lackeys.
We need lackeys to sing things for us. Tulkas, sing! Sing for us, Tulkas.
Button Mash Podcast is back.
That was choral. That was very choral. You are like a one-man choir.
Indeed.
Excellent. Welcome back to the Button Mash Podcast. We are going to talk about some upcoming gaming releases and some news from the past week. So that's what we do. So, let's have a look at the news, shall we? Not a lot that I picked up on this week. I don't know. I would like it if other people were like, hey, did you hear about the thing and the thing? But nobody ever does. But things I found, someone compiled, and I love this. This just seems to be our one topic of conversation, is Kickstarter.
Hey.
Someone compiled a list of all of the Kickstarters from probably all time, I guess. It starts as of February 2012 is the list. All the Kickstarters from February 2012 that have raised over $75,000 and whether they finished the game or not. So there's just a Google Docs, Google spreadsheet thing that apparently anyone can access. And there's a big list of all the games, which is just really fascinating to look at. It's like the first game ever to get over 75,000 on Kickstarter, I guess, failed. I like that. The first game, which is Code Hero, which I vaguely recall hearing about that one. I guess that's a game that teaches you to code in some way, shape, or form. They haven't. It's listed as failed. Little communication in years. History of missed deadlines. Allegations. And then the line trails off, and I can't read the rest of it, so I don't know. But there were allegations that something happened. They were alleged. I don't know. Broken Age, second one on the list. They've only released half of the game. That's taking them long. That was March 2012. First half released, game coming to PS4. They've kind of got that one flagged as low to no risk, imminent release or advanced progress, which I guess I'm not sure I would like to file Broken Age under successful Kickstarters, or, okay, admittedly the Kickstarter was very successful, but, the project wasn't, I wouldn't have said. No. Has anybody bought any of the things on the list? That's what I'm intrigued about.
I'm having a look through it.
What do you think?
Darkest Dungeon.
Okay, Darkest Dungeon's listed as is that a pale green, isn't it?
Yes.
Cool.
I'm not worried about that one. That one's pretty cool.
Now, the one that actually caught my eye, which actually they haven't they haven't listed that as anything because it looks like they can't actually figure out what it is. Devs release weekly updates about co-op mode. Is co-op mode adventure mode? They're talking about Guns of Icarus there, and I will. If they want an answer on that one, yes, it is. Co-op mode is adventure mode. Yes, I backed that one. That's one I've released, which hasn't been released. They're bringing it to PAX East, so I'll be able to play it in about a week's time. Hopefully, maybe. They actually had it at PAX last year, and I didn't even play it, so I hope they've done something good with it in the last year.
You're going to PAX East and not Minecon? Man.
Well, the tickets for PAX East came out like 4 months ago. The tickets for Minecon haven't come out yet, so I can't even make the decision yet.
But you could meet me, and we could sing songs together.
Alright, I'm not going.
How rude.
I shall contemplate it. I don't know quite where I will be in life or what my money will be, or London's weird. I don't know.
But there's like 4 of us, or 3 or 4 of us that will be going from Strangelands, and it could be a Strangelands party.
Okay, who's going from Strangelands to Minecon then? For definite, for realsies, proper
well,
decided.
To try to get tickets, I know Neil is. I believe Pasta and Mod said they would try. And
is Mod going? Okay.
I think he said that. I said that. Can't remember if... I know Squizzy said he wasn't going, but I guess that's Team Europe there. I don't know. But yeah, that's a good number, and we need to
get a Strangelands panel. If we had a Strangelands panel, I'd go to it. Someone get on to whoever runs the thing. Lydia, I guess, is it?
Yeah, well,
running things. Someone get on to Lydia and say, look, we got a Minecraft server here. We average about 30 views each per video. Can we have a panel?
Yeah, you and Maud are the only 2 members of the group above 100 subscribers. So, we could have a little meetup where all our fans, all one of them, come outside and wave to us. That would be fun.
I think I probably have more success meeting fans at Button Mash.
Yeah, well, it's a local grown event.
Well, yeah, I know, but in terms of actually watching my video content, it's kind of weird when people turn up and they're like, "Hey, I watch your video," and I'm like, "Really? Okay."
Do they also did they see the thing where do they know about me?
I don't know. The last person that came and talked to me about my videos was actually more interested in talking about Prison Architect, actually.
No,
they were like, "Oh, I bought Prison Architect because I watched your videos."
They know about me if they're a fan.
Next time anyone says, "Hey, I watch your videos," I will ask them, "Do you know about Tulkas? Have you heard the good word of Tulkas today?" Have you considered accepting Tulkas into your heart?
Our Lord and Saviour.
Oh, that's
our Lord and Saviour Tulkas.
Hey! Watch yourself, man. I am not. I am but the acolyte of the greater being that will come. He is the Capel, and he is an Marsh.
And we already established that you're both the same person, so okay.
I am but the prophet. I am but the prophet.
The one thing I failed to take into account with all of that is I have heard Neil talk before, so how are the voices different? I guess you must use a voice-changing software for Neil.
Sure, and he's also had his
face. He admitted it, you all heard it, he admitted it.
And we've both had our faces in videos,
Plastic surgery.
Multiple times?
Yes. Like on a daily basis to change your face so that people would believe you are 2 people. You got a really... I suppose it could be a really convincing prosthetic mask thing.
Sure,
and
Neil does like to wear his sunglasses. Fascinating.
And has anyone ever seen you two in the same place at the same time?
I
That's
suppose
the key
not.
one.
No. Well, that's the point of Minecon. If you come to Minecon, you can like make a documentary video on trying to figure out if me and Neil are the same person.
What
There's
if
your
you've
channel.
actually staged a clever doppelganger?
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Minecon.
You get a stunt double to play Neil for you.
If you're going to Minecon, then let us know in the video description. I mean,
Yes,
in the comments
comments.
of the video. Yeah, the video comments.
Yes, do that. And if you're coming to Button Mash, let us know as well. Well,
What
we've
is,
announced a date
like,
for the next one, but hey.
I don't even. I'm so confused. I
What?
don't even know.
What?
There's like, but you like have your weird events thing. I guess it's probably a European thing. I wouldn't understand.
Yeah, it's what happens in the future.
Yeah, it's your hive mind. You just like connect things. You can't explain.
We don't even need to leave the house to have an event. We just sort of merge our minds into the same place, and then it's like, hey, let's just have a Button Mash, and then everyone just melds minds, and we play video games through our minds, and that's Button Mash.
It's probably too difficult
future,
to explain to a singleton like me, you know. Oh well, I suppose that in 5 hours, when we get that technology, I will know.
Yep.
And then by that time, you've already have moved on to like a post-physical form. You'll be like a giant nebula of button
Being
mash.
of pure energy.
The nebula of button mash in a galaxy far, far away,
Basically,
smiling down
we'll
upon
be
our
the-
hive mind.
Basically, yes. In about 5 hours' time, Europe will be the Nova kids from Starbound.
And
We'll play
we will be
Starbound
hive
through our
mind.
hive mind. Because that's
Hey
what we
man, technology is advancing at a rapidly growing rate. You know, it took thousands and thousands of years and tens of thousands of years, and hundreds of thousands of years to convert to agriculture, then like thousands of years to convert to like pyramid building, and like a decade to convert to the thing, and like now it's like the time, and now we're hive mind.
You're looking through this list of games on Kickstarter. If I may drag us kicking and screaming back to the topics. I like a lot of the red ones just put, development is hard. Congratulations, just realised that, huh?
I noticed Hyperlight Drifters listed as health issues,
Oh, yeah.
which is entirely accurate, but I haven't heard from them in a very long time.
Right.
It's been months now.
Okay, I'm not up on what happened with that or anything, so.
It says it updated on January 12th. Might have to open that up and have a look.
Mm-hmm. I like the stomping land. I could see that was going to be a failure when that appeared. That just looked bad. When that appeared on Steam, it was like, this can't happen. And now it's listed as red. Apparently it got delisted a few months back as well. It appeared on Steam, and then they removed it from Steam, and now they're back on Steam, but the developers are still not updating it. They're just selling it through Steam. Wow. I mean, sounds legit, right? Immediately below that, actually, is A Hat in Time, which I backed, which is backer beta. Progress seems to be made, but it's still a while to go. Last update, December 11th. I confess I hadn't checked in on that one terribly lately, but I know they were at PAX last year, and I explicitly avoided it because it was just like, spoilers, I just want to play this game when it's out. I really don't want to know what's going on. I don't want to know bits of the story. I don't want to see the characters. When the game's finished, give me the game and I'll play it. That's A Hat in Time for me. I just want Banjo-Kazooie. If someone just wants to make a Banjo-Kazooie, I'll be really happy. They should bring that back. What happened with Rare? Rare is still around, right? Why are they not making more Banjo-Kazooie? People would buy that. I would buy that. Make Banjo-Kazooie and make it for PC, damn it. I know Rare, that notable PC developer. Make it and release it. That'll be good.
Go Team Suicide.
That's not even relevant to anything at all.
But it's never too late to show your support for Team Suicide.
Indeed, Team Suicide.
Hey, you and me together, we can win this UHC, man.
What UHC? We don't have a UHC.
Well, the UHC in our hearts.
The one in our hive mind.
Yeah. That would be, whoa, that's like a cool like story idea. UHC in the hive mind. Whoa.
Can I also point to a game on this list that's just caught my attention, which says Lord British presents Not Ultima Online, which just sounds insane. And I wish to know what the heck that is. Oh, it became Shroud of the Avatar Forsaken Virtues. Okay, then. Right, that's the thing. I didn't know that was that. Okay. Fair enough, then. Richard Lord British Garriott. What a nutter. Who calls himself Lord British? Anyway, since you guys clearly have no interest in talking about Kickstarter, let's talk about TwitchCon. Since we're talking about conventions. Hey, see what I did there? No?
Yeah.
Well, that's like con means convention.
Yeah, but we were just talking about conventions. And here's a convention that's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a segue. See how I did the segue? Yeah, segue.
Well, you can't expect me to be as accomplished as you. I'm only a measly 19-year-old, man. I don't know your segues and Britishisms.
It's a very European thing, I know. Americans don't have segues. George Bush tried one
We
once,
do
but he
actually.
crashed it.
They're the, I saw some police in Chicago that had them.
But do they have them in San Francisco?
I don't know. I've never been to San Francisco.
Maybe you should, because that's where TwitchCon is.
Yeah.
That's how you do a segue.
Meroka.
So, yes, Twitch have announced TwitchCon in San Francisco, just in case you didn't have enough conventions in your life already. So, that will be September 25th and 26th at San Francisco's Moscone Center. I don't know where that is. I've never been to San Francisco, but it sounds expensive. That's all we've established. We've talked about San Francisco on many occasions. All we've ever established is Golden Gate Bridge and expensive.
I've never been west of St. Louis myself, but
I don't even know where that is.
That's where
ignorant European.
That's where Cecile's from and where she is at this moment.
Okay.
It's west, but not too far west. It's like the boundary of like how far west I've been. It's like Missouri, and like it's sort of like on the border of Missouri and Illinois, and like
I don't even know where Missouri is. I'm an ignorant European.
Man, you'd think that with your hive mind you could like consult your other sources, but I guess
I'm not linked to Google Maps. I'm linked to people.
Concerns. Well, yeah, but there has to be some European who knows. You can't.
No, none of us know. There's not a single person who knows where Missouri is in Europe. Fine, I will consult Google Maps.
No.
I have to use this crude technology. It doesn't involve mentally linking myself to people. God damn it. Oh, such inferior technology. It'd be so much nicer. Give me about 5 hours and we'll link ourselves to the internet technologically.
Wait, if I'm talking to you on Skype and you're 5 hours in the future, does that mean that I have the ability to communicate with the future? So you can tell me things to change the destiny of the great American nation?
Yes,
Whoa.
we communicate through tachyons and mutated neutrinos. It allows us to talk through time.
The neutrinos have mutated.
I'm glad you got the mutated neutrinos thing. I will say.
The electrons are angry.
They light from the sun. It's gone off.
Darobrian.
The Latinos are mutating and they are heating up the planet. Amazing. Okay, so I still can't actually find where we were talking about on the map. We were talking about
San Luis. Well, look, we don't need to talk about Missouri. It's like the Ferguson riots. Did you hear about the Ferguson race riots?
I see the things. Oh, okay. So
Ferguson.
Right. That's about there.
Did you know about the Ferguson riots?
We sort of heard about them.
Well, those happened in St. Louis. So there.
Okay then. Well, I am educated.
Yeah, there's actually a big thing going on my college campus right now about black people being discriminated against. They have like whites only signs on like drinking fountains. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, sounds it. Let's talk about something less intense. Let's talk about TwitchCon.
Okay. Well, I guess one thing that I found interesting in there that the TwitchCon, like their blurb is that they'll have a lot of the famous streamers will be attending, and I guess
I would have thought so.
I just sort of wonder like how they're going to like I don't know like if the famous streamers would necessarily want to go to TwitchCon, because it isn't like Minecraft where it's just like all about Minecraft. It's just Twitching, it's just a platform where you like, I don't know that you have like some great ideological connection and fascination with Twitch as a convention. Like,
I don't know. People do seem to have a lot of attachments to Twitch. I mean, you look at other conventions where Twitch shows up, they usually do bring streamers with them and stuff, and like, hey, check out the people, these are the people, you know. There are a lot of people who are streamers are, you know, very, very much a part of what Twitch is, and I think Twitch will go to great lengths to make them be a part of them as a whole, as an organisation.
I have been enlightened.
I think. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not important enough to be considered for that kind of thing, but yeah.
I don't think you have a Twitch channel.
Nice segue. We do.
Ooh, why don't you tell us about the Twitch channel?
It is twitch.tv/buttonmash. And it is never used for anything ever because my internet is not fast enough. It used to be, and then they broke it, and now it's not. And I'm waiting for someone to give us better internet so that I can use it again.
I've never live streamed or done anything, but like I could like use it just for like random Tulkas stuff. Ooh, that sounds like a good idea.
You would have equal success making your own Twitch channel because it's not like I have any subscribers that are keen to see what
followers.
I make.
The term is followers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, because subscribers pay money on Twitch, don't they?
Yes.
Well, of course.
Yes, the term is followers. I will use my good friend. But yeah.
I mean, even if they're not actively bringing streamers to it, the fact that exists and they have lots and lots of very famous, successful people doing that kind of thing, yeah, I think a lot of people would jump at the chance to go do it anyway. I don't think it's like they're promising something they can't deliver when they say, "Hey, there's going to be famous streamers here."
I guess sort of the question is like, is it more that the streamers bring value to the Twitch event by being there, or does the Twitch event bring value to the streamers by them being there? Like, which, like do the streamers give the Twitch event exposure, or I mean, obviously it's both, but
are you going chicken and egg on TwitchCon here?
Maybe.
Which comes first, the streamer or the Twitch? I guess it would be the Twitch, but
I think the streamer. There was no life before Twitch. Twitch made the streamer. It crafted the streamer out of the dust, and it put him in front of the camera to have countless scandals and yeah.
On the first day, Twitch said, "Let there be live streams," and there was live streams, or were live streams. Those are grammars.
And thus, Strangelands had yet another religion founded.
The cult of Twitch. I don't think we founded that one. I think that's already a thing, to be honest. But hey. The one complaint I have heard about it is just that it's like one convention far too many. For a lot of people who are in that kind of business, they're already expected to go to a buttload of other stuff. And suddenly now, hey, there's another thing you're expected to attend. It's just like, oh, give me a break, please. You've got like 3 PAXs in the US alone, and E3 and things like BlizzCon, and there is another video
and
Minecon
convention.
Minecon as well, if you're into Minecraft.
I'm into Minecraft.
I believe we had established that, yes.
Mostly for the quartz, though. That's really it.
Yeah, that's all. You're just in it for the quartz. I don't play for any other block.
I mean, I didn't really play before they added quartz, but in that update, I don't know, like 1.4, whatever it was, then like the game got like so much better. Like it got like addictive on quartz.
So yeah, obviously for people who do a lot of Minecraft content, Minecon's a thing. There is VidCon, which is supposed to be for general sort of your video producers, your YouTubers and whatnot, but from what I've heard, reports back from a lot of big YouTubers that have been, that's really weird because apparently it's mostly just vloggers. which means if you go there and you're like, I can't remember who it was. There's someone who's got like millions of subscribers went there and they were like, nobody recognized me at all. It's just like, and then there was like some teenage kid that makes videos in their bedroom of just talking to the camera, and they've got hordes and hordes of women around him, and they're like, oh my god, it's so-and-so, he does vlogs. And then there's this like famous video game content producer with millions of subscribers, and everyone's like, I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm
really
a teenager
weird, okay.
in my bedroom making, looking at the camera and making videos, and I feel offended by this.
Well, if you keep it up, you could have all the ladies at VidCon, apparently.
There are
that's
ladies
how that
at
one works.
VidCon?
Apparently so. Apparently that's how that works. If you're a guy and you do vlogging on YouTube and you go to VidCon, apparently you get all the ladies.
Well, then, I guess I know where my channel's going.
Announcing a new change in direction on Tulkas the Valiant's channel.
Now we have Tulkas making misogynist remarks.
Wow, okay.
Not really. Not really. Want to clarify that with a joke. Okay. No, I feel awkward. Okay,
so yes, we have one more thing to stress out all YouTubers and Twitchers and things. I don't know. Would YouTubers go to TwitchCon? I guess they might. People probably do both.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on like how big they are on Twitch. Like people
also,
like
that that's kind of another interesting one. It's like if you're like a big YouTuber but don't do Twitch and then turn up to TwitchCon, would that be another scenario where you've got like Sevedus being swarmed by people and you're like, hey, I've got 2 million subscribers. Nobody knows who I am.
That's the fascinating thing though, that like how all the different like communities that are like so big inside the community then are like completely unknown without like obviously you're too ancient or archaic in your future age to know this, but you know, I'm someone who's like been at high school like with people who knew the Yogscast, and it's just interesting to see like the Yogscast, which was this like huge phenomenon on YouTube, like them or not, like they're like massive, and like you have like there's these derpy little freshmen and sophomores that like know about the Yogscast, and there's like a handful of them like as a group. It's amazing.
Cool. So, TwitchCon, that's a thing. That's probably about the news for the week, unless you guys have got anything that you picked up on that I didn't. It was otherwise a pretty quiet week, I think, gaming news.
Nothing on my end.
I have nothing, no.
Let's move on to some video game releases then, I suppose would probably be a wise thing to do for the day. Shall start off with our giant bomb list. What's the date today? What are we up to? We're on the 23rd. Let's find a page that begins with 23rd. Or 22nd, that'll do it. We start off with Dragon Ball Xenoverse, which is something about the balls of dragons. You must go around and you must find dragons and you must castrate them. Is that not what this is?
Oh,
No.
Dragon Ball is awesome, and all the fighting games are awesome. I haven't played one in a long time.
I can't say Dragon Ball is anything I've ever so much as even expressed an interest in, to be quite honest.
It's about the most ultra-violent thing I ever watched as a 12-year-old.
Okay, right.
And, I mean, when Will was 12, like, the world was very different. Like, was it like, when you were 12, was like the Soviet Union still up?
Dinosaurs still roamed the earth.
Like, it's so amazing to me. Like, people that were, like, alive during the Soviet Union. Like, the Soviet Union alive during it.
He watched episodes of Dragon Ball in between being chased by T-Rexes.
Because, you know, Stalin was riding the T-Rex at the time.
Yes, as was the fashion at the time. It was the in thing.
Old people.
Geriatric. Thank you. Are you just going to
elderly?
You're just really.
You're just mocking me now.
You're just giving us a list
Shriveled,
of synonyms
decrepit,
for old. No.
Deteriorating, past the prime, decaying.
Wow.
Bad, in poor health.
Jesus.
White-haired.
He could be albino for all you know.
Not 19.
Oh,
Man, me
Lord.
19-year-olds, we possess the vitality of youth, and boy, is it vital.
well, I'm coming to get you on my T-Rex later. On my ancient T-Rex.
I will throw an iPhone thing at you.
We have Under Night in Birth, which is a two-dimensional fighting game from by the developers of Melty Blood, and I don't know what that is. But something about blood that melts. It looks anime. It looks not entirely dissimilar to the thing we just looked at. Something about fighting with anime things, right?
Well, I mean, you need to freeze the ice. You need to freeze the blood into ice before you can melt it, right?
I guess that's how that would work.
So I guess you need to. Oh my God! This is cryogenics. This is the front
me?
for a cryogenics store, like thing, like trying to freeze people so they can like be resurrected later.
Oh, I thought you had some
medicine
revelation about the
advances
game there. No, you're just okay. I thought you were when you were like, oh, I thought you were actually going to give us something useful to talk about the game. No.
I take that as an insult.
This appears to be some sort, almost like a kind of chibi version of like Skullgirls kind of thing, I guess. I don't know what to make of that one. Something about anime characters fighting each other. There you go.
It lacks universal air dashes. Is this like a big thing? The universal air dash?
I've never heard of a universal air dash, so
Apparently,
I don't
like
know.
this is like the big thing that's like unique about this title. That it lacks the universal air dash.
It does say that the one big thing that differentiates it is its lack of universal air dash.
I don't know about this universal air dash thing, but apparently it's like a theme or like.
I feel like we're missing something here, something big, because that's really
like-
important that it's
like-
missing the universal air dash.
dash, but like the universe doesn't even have air; it's a vacuum. What?
Mind
You
blown.
can't dash around the air of the universe. It's what? No, what?
On the Vita, we have a game that I can't pronounce. Can any of you guys pronounce that? We have.
Hotel Nikra, the Firefly Diary.
Thank you. Yeah, you didn't. I believe you missed out the hashtag in the middle of the freaking name, though.
Fly Diary.
Cthulhu for Tegan, I believe. Oh, jeez. Yeah, the HTOL hashtag NIQ, the Firefly Diary, is what that is. What the shit? It's a fantasy action game developed by Nippon Ichi for the PlayStation Vita. It was the player control of a pair of fireflies, one using the front touchscreen and one using the back touchscreen, which sounds awkward as all fuck.
Which have to guide a horned girl named Mion. So basically, it's one giant escort quest.
Well, I'm totally not sold, although it's pretty cute. I will say that.
Oh, it's a stylized corruption of the Japanese subtitle Hotaru no Nikki.
Oh, well, I guess we are learned. Continuing on with Jesus Christ, the anime this week. What the shit? Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Black Hearts, also for the Vita. Vita's ridiculously good for anime. If you're into anime, Vita is like the shit. It really is. The amount of crap on there that's just all anime. Japan loves them some Vita, I guess. We got a strategy RPG spin-off from Hyperdimension Neptunia, starring the PlayStation-inspired Goddess Noir, which I suppose would make some sense to put it on a PlayStation platform. I appreciate the tie-in there. Okay. Sure, okay. That's more Hyperdimension Neptunia. We've seen a good bit of that in the last few months. He's been putting out a lot of things for that franchise. We have Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 1.
Giant eyeball.
With a giant eyeball. Will, I presume you know something about Resident Evil.
I've seen a lot of screenshots for this, but I'm still all about Resident Evil. At least in the 90s.
Right. Do you know anything useful to tell us about this one?
No, not on this one.
Okay, it's something about zombies and shooting zombies, probably.
More about mutants now than any kind of zombie, I think.
Okay. Shooting mutants, then. I don't even know what the enemies are, then.
It kind of evolved from zombies to Las Plagas, which are like a parasite that turns you into a slave instead of a zombie, and then it just went all mutants.
It does have a list of enemies down the bottom of the page here, which is the Afflicted. While they function like zombies, they are in fact still technically alive. They've been tortured to such a degree that they have gone insane and will attack people on sight. So they're just insane.
Yeah, it's
really, we need to be getting them some help. This game is actually encouraging people to attack mentally ill people, and cannot be condoned in any way, shape, or form.
We should boycott this game.
We should boycott this game. I was up until that moment, I was totally planning to buy this game.
I'm boycotting the game. Boycott.
Hooray. Button mash boycotts.
I am a trendsetter.
Although the second picture is the Rotten, which is literally a freaking skeleton. It's like, if that's not undead, what the hell is? We have There Came an Echo on PC, which is a game I know something about because I played it at PAX East last year. This is a RTS squad strategy thing that I think you can play it without voice commands, but ideally it's supposed to be played entirely with voice commands. They even designed the menu so that if you just talk into the microphone and read out the menu option, it'll select that from the menu. It's like you never need to touch an interface at all. Which sounds like a really relaxed way to play. If you had a big comfy chair, you could just sort of lean back and move the microphone in front of you, you could just play it. I kind of want to do that now. I'm very intrigued to play this. It's got they've got a lot of good voice actors for that. So they've got Will Wheaton involved in there. And I think they might have had Ashley Birch as well, who's been voice acting all the things lately, apparently. Definitely Will Wheaton, if nothing else. I can't see Ashley Birch on this page, but I definitely remember seeing that somewhere. We also have Ronald Jenkins, does a good part of the soundtrack, who is awesome. He's one of my favourite artists ever, so yay on that score. And actually, the voice command thing, it sounds gimmicky, but it works really surprisingly well. I was trying it last year on the expo floor in a room with like tens of thousands of people. It was noisy as hell. It still understood what I was saying. And I suppose to demonstrate the limits of it, they've kind of got a feature in there where you can nickname any of the characters. You've got a thing where you can just go into a text box and type in the name of the character, what you want to call them. And some joker that had been on the game before me had decided that one of the squad commanders or whatever was going to be called Mr. Fluffy Bunny or something, or Honey Buns or something. And it worked. You could like, okay, Honey Buns, go to point Alpha, and he would walk across the screen and go to the next checkpoint, and it would work. Admittedly, it's kind of node-based in that regard, because obviously it's really hard to do any kind of precision with that. So what it is, it's like, here's a bunch of locations around this map that your characters can go to. So you will name your characters, and you'll tell them to go to certain points. You'll tell them to open fire on specific targets. You'll be like, okay, Mr. Honeybuns, go to point Alpha. Mr. Honeybuns, open fire on target Delta. And they'll just move around and shoot at things. And you can move into cover and strategically move across the map by telling them where to go. And yeah, the voice command thing is just astonishingly good. And this is the same guys who did Sequence, which was a really, really, really good rhythm game, which I heartily recommend as well. So yes, that's out like tomorrow, and I'm quite keen to take a look at that one. We have Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, which is Dynasty Warriors, I guess. I like that it's Dynasty Warriors 8, but the box art still says Dynasty Warriors 7. What the hell? Okay.
Production value!
This is, I guess, a spin-off. It's an entry in the Empires spin-off from the Warriors games, which replaced the story mode with an empire-building strategy metagame based on Dynasty Warriors 8. I think Dynasty Warriors is one of those things that if you're into it, you will play all of the games. If you're not into it, you probably take it or leave it. I think I will leave it.
Is it like Rome Total War?
I don't think it's anything remotely like Rome Total War.
Okay, then I don't like it.
Yeah. Although, like I say, empire building strategy metagame, it sounds like it's closer to Rome Total War than the standard ones might be, but normally the standard ones is you're a person with a big weapon and you will go around and cut down entire armies by swinging your weapon around a lot. That's how Dynasty Warriors kind of works.
Fascinating.
Rugby 15. It's rugby. I think that's all there is on that one. We have Star Whale, Just the Tip, which is on the PlayStation platforms, which I guess it wasn't already, which is a multiplayer game about narwhals battling in space. It's quite good, actually, if you want something. If you want a sort of just local multiplayer brawler thingy to duke it out with your friends and just generally hate each other, yeah, go for that. We have a game that I thought was already out. Limbo is apparently out this week.
For PS4, yeah.
For PS4,
I was going to say, it looks a lot like Limbo.
Yeah, Kurt did his speedrun-esque series on that years and years ago, and it seemed like a pretty good game. It had a decent art style and a decent story to it.
It does have an art style that has been mimicked to a great extent since that has been released. When did that originally come out? 2010? Yeah. So for the last 4 to 5 years, we have seen quite a lot of silhouette-styled platformers, so Limbo's got a lot to answer for. Matter of fact, I played one this week, which was called Oscura, which actually was pretty good, actually, to be honest. It's more colourful than Limbo was, but it's still silhouettes and things that want to kill you, like, a lot. So, yeah, that was cool. So Limbo. If you don't already own Limbo, Limbo is pretty good, and it's now out on PS4. We have Exevius, I guess is how you pronounce that. I don't know how you pronounce that one. Exevius 3D Stroke G+, which is apparently a re-release of a PlayStation 1 game, originally released in 1997. And that is now out on something shiny and new, PlayStation 3. Now we have Desert Ashes. Also for the Vita, we have a turn-based tactics game for PC, Mac, and Vita, it says, but I guess this version is just the Vita. Can't tell you a lot about it. There's one single screenshot of it, which is of some weird stork-like birds that probably shouldn't be able to fly.
I don't think they are flying. They're like ostriches. They don't fly.
But they're not touching the ground.
I mean, it depends on where you think the ground is. Like, I think they're... Oh, you're right. Oh my... Whoa. How are they able to fly?
I just really want to know what went through your mind during that little thought process there. Just watching this picture is like, look, they're literally like 2 meters above their shadow. I don't know where you think they're stood, but okay.
But how do they fly? Like, they... What? I'm confused.
They shouldn't be able to fly, no.
Oh, maybe they're filled with hydrogen, like a Zeppelin.
It still doesn't look terribly practical. I feel like they would need a lot more hydrogen than that.
It's condensed hydrogen. That works, right?
I don't think it does. No. We have Ironfall Invasion on the 3DS, which is a third-person shooter, which I'm fairly sure...
We did this last week, didn't we?
I remember talking about this to somebody at some point, yes. Sure. Let's say we talked about it last week. It's a third-person shooter thing. Numa, Breath of Life for the Xbone, is a first-person puzzler, forcing people to think outside the box and explore reality beyond what they know as reality through the eyes of a god, apparently, or something.
So this is for Neil, basically.
Yes, this is Neil Simulator 2015.
What is? Oh my! Actually, a game simulating what it would be like to be Neil actually seems like that would be a very trippy experience.
I'm looking at it on Steam Greenlight. Actually looks kind of pretty, to be honest, as a game. A very nice looking game. I don't know quite what it is. I mean, sort of the thinking outside the box sort of sounds like they're going for a Portal kind of thing, I guess. But I don't know. Look, the screenshots more make me think of something close to Myst than anything else, mind you. So
this looks like
really sure.
Yeah, they are pretty things. They're like a Roman triumphal arch there. That's cool. Yay, Rome.
Rome indeed. And finally on this list we have the King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match. which they're a little bit late for a 2002 release. This is a remake of something from the PlayStation 2, I guess? From 2002? I was looking at the list of releases and it says, oh, it was originally on the Neo Geo. I was like, okay. Alright, sure. If you really, really like the 2002 edition of King of Fighters, there you go. You can buy it again. Have that again. Let's move on to Steam releases. We have Block Legend DX, which is a retro puzzle JRPG, which looks like Puzzle Quest? Looks kind of like Puzzle Quest. Is this Puzzle Quest? I'll be honest, I could go for some Puzzle Quest. Looks a lot like Puzzle Quest.
Well, you're traveling around completing tasks, doing puzzles. Like, I don't know what Puzzle Quest is, but they're questing to solve puzzles, so... I mean,
Puzzle Quest was an RPG, go on an adventure, gain gear, slay monsters thing, but all the combat was done with Bejeweled Match 3 stuff.
yes.
So it's a lot like that.
Huh. Wonderful.
That's cool, I could dig it.
Hmm.
A bit more pixel art than that, but yeah. Also, the idea of oh man, I'm gonna have to check my email for a moment, because I definitely remember hearing about this somewhere, and I'm wondering if someone got in touch with me earlier and was like, hey, I've got a thing, would you like to look at the thing? And I'm pretty sure they did. Did someone... I thought someone sent me a copy of something that was like that meets that description earlier. I can't think what it was. Nope, can't see it. Oh well. Never mind. Why does that one ring a bell? I don't know why that one rings a bell so well. We have Cold Contracts, which is something about killing people. Like many games. Which opens with, a war is random, which is not what I'd been told. I was told the war never changes.
Well, no, it's random because, you know, you never really know, like, what's going to happen. You know, what maybe a bullet hits you, maybe it doesn't. Just everything is like ball butterfly effect. It's like everything, the balance of power can change in an instant, man.
No, war never changes.
Oh, war changes.
Unless you listen to the Duty Calls game that the Bulletstorm guys made, which was quite amusing.
Well, no, I mean, war
never changes.
War,
or does it?
Like
No,
war
it
itself doesn't change, but like the interior, like exterior of war doesn't change, but the interior of war changes. It has a soft core. It's like Will. His bark.
You talk about interior decoration of war. Well, we're going to put some soft furnishings in the corner of the battlefield over there, and we're thinking maybe a floor lamp in that corner of the battlefield.
It's like
a couple of
it's
bean
like
bags
a candy,
for soldiers to
a
sit
hard
on.
shell, and then a chocolate middle, and that's war.
Sounds delicious. Give me some war.
Do you want
this
some?
is
Wait, do you want some more war?
maybe. Is it chocolate covered?
More war, door, shore.
I don't even know what you just said. This is a turn-based tactic game with real-time strategy elements, and you move people around and kill people, I guess. I don't know. You play a team leader who's been left for dead by an unknown man in a previous operation, and you are going to hire a team of mercenaries to counter an operation of the bad guy in a hostile region. Okay. Doesn't sound like anything that's really grabbing my attention in any way, shape, or form. You have Aru's Awakening, 2D action platformer with the very, very nice style going on and some very vibrant colours going on, which is always a good way to get my attention. You have colours, I am looking. That is how you sell games to me. That is exactly how you do that.
Color.
Although I already played Oscura, which was also colourful this week, so I may have already had my fill of colours, but I like the style of this. Apparently you need to master the synergy of teleportation and charge to defeat an evil. I don't know. Platforming with colours. I can dig it. We have, indeed, Oscura, Lost Light, which I've already talked about a little bit. It's a silhouette thing that is totally going to be out. And awesome. So, yeah. There will already be a review on my channel of this game. by the time you're watching this. So go watch that, and then you can find out all about Oscura. And I liked it. I will recommend it. I will gladly recommend that. That's the thing. Isbara is apparently finally out. I was sent this a while back, and then the devs were like, yeah, we'll tell you when it's going to be released so that you can take a look at it. And then they totally didn't tell me it's being released, so I didn't know. And now it's out in like 2 days. Yeah, this is a bullet hell platform game with a comic book style. It looks really cool. If you're into bullet hells, this is really interesting and different. If you don't like bullet hells, you're going to hate it, quite frankly. But yeah, you sort of jump around platforms and you don't really have any offensive abilities. You kind of got a dash and like a shield, and you can use the shield to block some of the bullets occasionally, and you use the dash to charge up like railguns and use the railguns to shoot the boss, and then you have to counter the boss's spells by standing in a circle whilst dodging a bajillion bullets. And then when you stand in the circle long enough, the boss gets weakened and you can dash into him and do some cool takedown maneuver, which doesn't really actually require you to particularly attack him in any significant way, but hey, it looks pretty cool. I like it. I do like it.
This is definitely on my wish list.
Cool. I will take a look at that at some point in the near future on my channel, definitely, but how soon I'm going to get around to that, I don't know. Because I got other things this week. There are quite a few decent games this week, actually, that I'm quite interested in. Next up, we have, what have we got? Resident Evil we already took a look at. A good snowman is hard to build, which is kind of a cute little puzzle game thing. I've been sent a review copy of this as well, so I'm going to have to take a look at this in the near future as well. It's about a little monster that's really cute, and he's trying to build a snowman for some reason, and I guess you have to strategically figure out how to build a snowman most effectively. It's really kind of cute. I like it. From what I've seen of it, anyway.
That's different.
It's about a monster building a snowman. It's amazing. I want to build a snowman.
With me?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yay!
So, yeah, I want to take a look at that. Homeworld Remastered Collection, which is the shiny, pretty new version of Homeworld that they have done, which kind of came out of nowhere very recently. I don't know, maybe they announced that a long time ago, but I just remember seeing that pop up on Steam one day. They were like, hey, by the way, there's going to be a remastered version of Homeworld. I was like, I did not know this. I know a lot of people that will be wanting to buy this, actually. I can't say I ever played the original. I don't know if you guys did at all.
Nope.
No. But it's a space shooter thingy. Actually, no. Is it shooter? I always got the impression it was kind of shooter, but it says it's an RTS on here, so... Space RTS, I guess. It's got spaceships and it looks very, very, very pretty. I don't know, mentally I'd kind of filed it under like the same category as like Elite, but maybe not. Like, I'm not sure if you do get to specifically fly a spaceship around like that. You just get to tell them where to go. But I think a lot of people who like the original will be picking up the new version, I'm quite sure. Speaking of remasters, we've also got Oddworld, new and tasty, which appears to be a entirely rebuilt from the ground up new version of Abe's Odyssey. So again, anyone who's sort of into the original may take a look at that, but...
Is it related to Oddport?
No, not so much.
The Oddport of the Oddworld? No?
No, afraid not. Not the same thing. However, it is made just down the road from us here in Buttermash. It's made over in Otley.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
In the Buttermash Studios.
Yeah. Yes, the Buttermash Studios, based in Just Add Water in Otley. I wish. No, not so much. But yeah, those guys, yeah, really close to us, and they make Oddworld, which is kind of cool. Not that I ever got into Oddworld. We had like a demo on the PlayStation. We played quite a lot of it. We never actually bought the full game because, hey, it was the PlayStation, and there were like a bajillion demos that came with every magazine, so you just played lots of demos. I know that was what we did. It's like, you can't afford games, but hey, we've got dozens of demos. Let's just play those. Childhood. We have A Druid's Duel, which this is another one I'd like to take a look at, which is a turn-based strategy set in a world of Celtic lore, where you can fight each other and stuff as a druid. It's got a cool style. It's kind of a grid-based strategy thing, and you play druids and you can turn into animals because you're a druid, and it's kind of cool. I like the look of it a lot. I do want to check this out. I have no idea what the gameplay's like, but the style's one of those ones that I'm like, okay, I really, 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 really want to take a look at this. Also, I played a druid in World of Warcraft, so druids are cool in my book.
I play a druid in Hearthstone sometime. Mid-range
same druid.
And Tramp. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Malfurion Storm Raids.
Malfurion Storm Rage, yes, indeed.
Yes. I must protect the wild. Nature will rise against you.
He never really showed up much in
And then he
World
has
of
like
Warcraft.
some weird brother that goes like, "You are not prepared."
Wasn't that Illidan?
Yeah, that's the Illidan card.
That's Illidan does that,
Except
yeah.
when he's played against Malfurion, he says, "Hello, brother."
I had never, I mean, I probably should have, I'd never up to this point clocked they were related, and then suddenly I was like, wait, Illidan Storm Rage, Malfurion Storm Rage, are they related? They could be, just a hunch.
Oh, Illidan's a bad card in Hearthstone, though. A lot of people have been calling for him to be buffed.
I don't believe I have an Illidan card or have seen an Illidan card, so I'm not right sure
Well,
what it
you
does.
should. Oh, he's a 7/5 for 6 mana, I believe, and he has a text that says, "Whenever you play a card 7/2/1, Flame of Azeroth." So the problem is that, like, at only 5 health, for like his mana cost, he's too easy to deal with, and like it's just like it just dies like all the, it's just like Flame Strike plus a ping, everyone dies. It's not good enough, not strong enough, for his, like, if he was like a 5/7, then he'd be like really good. Like in beta, I believe Illidan was like a 7/7 that had both players discard 3 cards and then draw 3 cards, and apparently he was like OP there. Then they had to nerf him to his current form, and now he's just like no one plays him, and like apparently he's like a big like fan favorite because people like him say, "You are not prepared."
Well, he was like kind of a big deal in Burning Crusade, yeah, he was like one of the big bads, so yeah, he's a cool character, so I can see why people would want him.
Was he
But
riffraff?
He's... I don't know the story behind him, I will be honest. I probably would have done once upon a time. I really don't remember my Warcraft lore anymore, to be honest.
I sort of do. I've had fun times browsing the WoW wiki to learn about all my Hearthstone cards. That's like hours and hours and hours and hours. There's a lot of stuff in there.
I would have once upon a time done that, yes.
But alas, you are now too old to participate in such youthful diversions.
Yes, that's it. I'm too old to play World of Warcraft anymore.
Well,
or
to look at
Hearthstone.
WoW wiki,
Yes,
It's time
there's
for
actually there's an age gate on it. When you go in there, it says, "How old are you?" And I put in, "I'm 27." And it's like, "You're too old to look at this page."
You're 27.
just turn back
Oh my
now.
god, that's like, whoa, 20. That's like 8 years. Like you were alive in like 1980
I was in the
8.
80s, yes.
or something.
87, in fact.
87. Well, like I don't even know what the world was like then. Wow,
It was a different place.
that's strange.
We
to
all
think
rode
about.
around on dinosaurs, as was the style at the time.
Well, that's I don't believe you.
Obviously, I mean, I was a newborn, so they kind of just put us on like a little dinosaur.
You're probably only like 24.
just kinda get a
and you're
raptor
trying
when
to
you're, like,
play
one.
off
Like
being
a Yoshi.
27.
Yeah, babies get put on Yoshis. And then when you grow up, you graduate to like T-Rexes and can stomp around and fight Stalin.
But yeah, now that you have passed on, it's time for the younger generation to take over World of Warcraft, I guess.
Yes. Onwards, Towncraft. Towncraft is a thing, which I believe is an iOS port and doesn't look terribly compelling. I got sent a press release about this one earlier in the week. I looked at it. It is a chill-out crafting and city-building game, and it's a mobile port, and I can't say I'm terribly compelled by it.
So basically, it's Farmville.
Probably not a million miles from it, actually. Probably not.
King Oligarchy. Ooh. I mean, it could be King Monarchy, like, instead of... Because, like, they're trying to he's a narcissist, so then he should be king monarchy because he's like all about monarchy, not like the oligarchy. He doesn't care about no peers. He's ruling by himself, yo.
Oh, I see you're reading the game description. I hadn't even managed to get that far down the page. I was moving on to the next one.
You just written this one off, hadn't you?
I wrote that one off, yeah.
Le Republique Remastered.
Republique.
The
Republique.
Is that how you pronounce it over there in
I
your
don't know.
hemisphere?
It has an accent on their logo, but it doesn't have the accent on the Steam page. It's like Republique. I don't know. It's something by people who made Metal Gear Solid and Halo and Fear. And it's made in Unity. It is a stealth action game that explores the perils of government surveillance in the internet age. Which sounds like the theme of Watch Dogs, but is probably, hopefully, better than Watch Dogs. It would be hard to be worse than Watch Dogs, to be honest. So, hey. Something about a girl... There's a lot of pictures of this girl. Is this just selfie simulators? All the screenshots are just some girl taking pictures of herself in some glowy pink collar. I think it's selfie simulator.
Pink. Hey, my temple is pink now, so yo.
It does appear to be an episodic thing, so I wonder if I guess they're doing it kind of like Life is Strange, I guess, maybe? Doesn't necessarily sound uninteresting. But, I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm at least slightly intrigued by it. Things that deal with, like, government surveillance are always kind of interesting, I think. Or have the potential to be, unless they're ruined, like Watch Dogs. So, hey. Yay! Ruining things.
Coffin Dodgers looks dark. Like, that is dark humor.
That's, oh yeah, this is early access, so I wasn't planning to take too much of a look at that. But, yeah, this is Mario Kart with retirees, I guess. It's Mario Kart on mobility scooters.
You're trying to save them from dying. Is that how you old people look at life? It's like the Grim Reaper? Whoa.
I'm not quite at the mobility scooter stage yet.
Oh.
I will confess.
Give it a few more months.
When I am, I do hope I can equip it with some rocket launchers. That would improve the mobility scooter experience. So yeah, I think it's a Mario Kart wannabe. I know Fixer seemed quite interested in it, but it's, as always, it's early access, so caveat emptor, buyer beware and all that. Yes.
But Fixer likes it, and Fixer is very wise.
Fixer also has got like 80 hours in Town of Salem, so take from that what you will.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he's even older than you are. Like,
this is true.
He's
basically dust at this point.
That like were older than you. Like you're so used to thinking about like Meroka, like the ultimate like in aged and like the oldest human alive, and then like there's just like suddenly like Fixer, the like randomly even older, and you're like, whoa.
Okay, we're taking way too long over these releases. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. We have Night Mysteries, The Amphora Prisoner, which is a hidden object stroke puzzle kind of thing for a casual audience. If your mum's looking for a game, there's one. The Mysteries Inheritance Remastered is a hidden object game stroke puzzle thing. If your mum's looking for a game, there's another one. There's not much more to say to me about that.
Good week for mums.
Good week for mums. Yeah, there's more on the next page as well, by the way.
Oh, God.
There's Ironcast. Oh, this is what I was thinking. This is the one I was thinking of earlier. Damn it. This is the one I was thinking of. This is Puzzle Quest meets FTL in a steampunk Victorian era roguelike. That sounds really interesting. That sounds really freaking interesting. I want to play that. I want to know what the heck that's all about.
You kind of match the things and that's how you attack?
Yeah, with steampunk shit.
Yeah, okay. I could maybe get on board with that.
It's steampunk mechs shooting at each other with Puzzle Quest. Yes, please. Yes, please. I could dig it. That's kind of cool. I really want to check that one out. Dragon Ball, we already took a quick look at. What else we got? We got King of Fighters, Bard to the Future. This was one. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Change page. Bard to the Future. What the heck was that? It's got a good name. It's got a good name. It's a challenging and addictive 2D platformer that follows the Battle Bard in an adventure through time against his newfound nemesis, an evil time-traveling cyborg pirate. Which is interesting. It's Mario. Is what that is.
I'm not overly enthralled by this at all.
It is a 2D platformer, and 90% of it just looks like shit that was in the original Super Mario Brothers. There's a few more mechanics, but a lot of it's just jumping on shit's head. And kicking bombs around. Not turtles, but they have much the same effect. That's Mario. That is literally just Super Mario Brothers with a cyborg pirate. Which I guess is something Mario was lacking. We have Pahelica Revelations HD. I'm not sure what that is. This is... Is this Hidden Object again?
Maybe.
No, I think it's more of a... I'm not sure, actually. It might be. I think... yeah, there's definitely puzzle elements. I think it's more of a first-person point-and-click kind of game with a lot of puzzle stuff going on, I guess. Probably also something that might not be a bad choice for your mum. But there you go. Way of the Samurai 4? Is this... oh, no, is this a... Oh, that doesn't actually have a release date on it. I need to stick to my list. I kind of just go through the Steam list and then miss things that are... Some of the things I've left out for a good reason, and that was one of them because they doesn't actually have a release date. It's just in the middle of all this February stuff. Hekabomb is a explosive twin-stick shooter. I like twin-stick shooters. Looks a lot like Asteroids, mind you.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
They're just shooting a lot of bits of rocks in space for some reason. Sure, okay, well that's just Asteroids. They did that a long time ago, guys. Hate to break it to you. But I can dig twin-stick shooters. I like that sort of thing. Cool. We also have Tales of the Orient, The Rising Sun, which is match 3. Yeah, it's it looks like a lot of match 3 games I have played on my phone in the past, actually, to be fair. Match 3 in non-standard grids, I guess, is what it is. It's like, how can we make Bejeweled more interesting? Let's make it so some of the moves are really awkward to make. Okay, sure, why not? That's... I'm pretty sure that's a mobile port. I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure that is. We have Oblitus. Oblitus is a... What the heck are we looking at here? It looks not dissimilar to Dust and Elysian Tale, actually, stylistically, I would say. And it's, again, sort of a 2D... running around, hacking and slashing things in a platformy kind of action thing. I don't know. I think it's probably not a million miles from Dust and Elysian Tale, actually. Maybe with some more magic thrown in there for good measure. Although, it does also say it's procedurally generated, so, okay, maybe it's not. Yeah. Dust was just very much just, here's a level, play the levels. And it was cool. But this is procedural generation, I guess. Interesting.
Pretty cool.
Fair enough. We have Black Hole. Black Hole is a 2D sci-fi platform game. Jesus, a lot of platforming this week. It's... The screenshots are not the most compelling looking thing I've ever seen in my life. That's just some 2D platforming. I'm not sure what this has going for it, I will be honest. Can you guys make anything out here?
It's not the worst platform we've looked at today.
Well... Probably not, but... Actually, what have we looked at that was worse? Which platform would look worse
Forward to
than
the
that?
Future.
Oh, Bards. I would mentally file them on about the same level.
Concede.
They're about the same, probably. I didn't think Bards of the Future looked the worst thing. It just looked like very average, but so does Black Hole. And the Dark Stone from Mebara, which is set in 1924 Massachusetts. Take the role of Detective Monroe, Professor Webley, and Boss Pendleton of the Pendleton's Agency, all of whom have come to possess an eerie black rock with strange properties. This is... I've seen this interface before. This is RPG Maker. This is just an RPG Maker RPG thing. Yeah.
It's trying to be all Lovecraftian. And
it is trying to be Lovecraftian, indeed, yes.
really just makes me want to vomit.
It's a fairly crude looking, because they haven't, I mean, you can do a lot with RPG Maker to hide the fact that it's RPG Maker, but this interface, when you look at it, it's just like, yeah, I've seen that interface a million times before. This is Final Fantasy with a kind of a not the best looking Lovecraft kind of aesthetic going on. Yeah. Well, that's where we end the week. Cool.
Death.
So, now that we've talked about all the cool stuff, and indeed the dross that's coming out this week, let's do some shameless self-promotion. The Incredible Tulk, why don't you tell us about what you're doing this week and where people can find us?
Rejoice! My name is The Incredible Tulk, also known as Tulkas Valiant, and I'm the contestant of Scatterbrain Derpiness. And, basically, let me ask you a question, most loyal viewers of the Button Mash podcast. Do you like quartz? If you do, then you should subscribe to my channel at youtube.com/TulkasValiant. And if you don't, then leave the Button Mash YouTube channel and never come back. Okay, thank you.
Wow. If you subscribe to Tulkas, you can watch not 5, but 6 hours of straight quartz mining on his channel this week.
That would be like wonderful, wouldn't it? Oh,
actually,
quartz.
you know what? You should just live stream. You should just live stream mining quartz 24 hours a day.
Well, that is basically my life.
Well, you should live stream it. Make some money out of it.
Yeah, and also
get a following going. Everybody will be talking about that guy. Have you heard about that guy? He's done nothing but mine quartz for the last 7 days straight.
It's like the Twitch plays Pokemon thing. Yeah, but
Twitch plays Pokemon of quartz.
Also, there's the original. I will have my first episode of Realm Total War, the Scipii campaign, going up yesterday or today. So, or maybe in the future. I don't know. I'm not a very organized person. But if you want to see some good old Realm Total War action and me sort of derping through things, then you can do that. There's also Geoguessr, Town of Salem, Quartz. Basically just Quartz, yeah.
Cool. Right, well, if you want to know more about Button Mash things that are happening, you can check out IRL-type stuffs over on facebook.com/buttonmash and indeed twitter.com/button_mash_UK. If you want to watch videos, well, you're already on the right channel, so click the subscribe button below, and indeed leave a like, why not? All good. I will have Final Fantasy XIV on the channel this week, and reviews of a lot of the things that I've talked about wanting to review in the show already, so yeah, see those. If you really wish... Go on.
I just liked you on Facebook.
Yay, thank you.
The new Bradford Playhouse, City of Bradford.
Yes, that is where we host our events, yes indeed. It is a wonderful venue. We like
I can stalk you now.
You can stalk the Bradford Playhouse, I guess.
Okay,
yes.
I can stalk the Bradford Playhouse now.
You do that. There, I'm sure the building will take kindly to you keeping an eye on it.
Sorry for interrupting.
I don't know where I was. Money, yeah. Give me money. Patreon. If you wish to support me in my video making endeavors, I have a Patreon campaign, which can be found at patreon.com/buttermash. Steam, if you want to go see what I recommend on Steam, we've got bit.ly/BM Steam will take you to my curation page. And I feel like we're missing something. Have we missed anything?
Twitter?
Twitter was button_mash_UK. I thought we already did that, but whatever.
Sorry.
That's probably all of it. If there's anything else, it'll be in the description below. I'm lazy, go click on that. So, I think that probably brings us to the end. So, thank you very much, Tulkas, for joining us once more.
Yay! Thank you for having me, most steadfast and illustrious Meroka.
Even though I'm not quite sure you're much of a guest anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're allowed to be called
Hey man,
that.
the Tulkas segment is becoming
Guests
a thing.
leave. Guests, by definition, eventually leave.
Well, I mean, Alvarez has his baby killing segment. Well, his dead baby segment. He isn't actually.
Well, that's why he's not back
he
this
isn't
week.
actively killing them. He's just watching them passively die. It's different. And I have my Tulkas segment. It's fun.
Where you talk for half an hour about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, no. The
Have I offended you by referring to the collected works of Tolkien as Lord of the Rings?
like you're insinuating that it's Sauron, but really it isn't. It's Morgoth and not Sauron. Like, and he didn't even make the rings yet.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Sauron. Long
I know who Sauron is. I don't know who the other guy is.
In the Sindar and Beleriand named Gothar. Long ago, Melkor first introduced him to his legions, and he was long the most trusted and servant of the enemy, and the most perilous, for he could assume many forms and something seeming unfair.
Law vomit. That's Tulkas' law vomit. That's what your section's going to be.
That is my life.
Oh dear. Right. So that's. Thank you again, Will.
Thank you.
And thank you, viewers, loyal viewers, for watching this. If you made it to
I
the
love
end,
you,
congratulations.
viewers.
Give yourself a pat on the back and reward yourself by clicking the like button below. So, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week. Actually, no. Scratch that. Wait. Hold the presses. We'll see you in 3 weeks. Because next week, I'm going to be imminently heading out to Boston for PAX. The week after, I am going to be at PAX. And then I'm going to be spending the following week dying of PAX plague, so it's going to be like 3 weeks before we actually get another podcast. Just saying.
We will expect a lot of news.
I will probably have a lot of news to talk about, yes. It'll be good.
I'm trying to do the farewell we.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's a low-flying plane or if he's going through a tunnel.
It's a low-flying plane going through a tunnel.
Doing a bit of barnstorming there. We'll see you next time.